expecting the whole string not to go. More of this, releases it, but uses it to enforce. Tries to armor, the down two again, smart stuff, but Kanamani, there's only less than 200 health remaining. Lovely throw.
Цікаво, чому не йде?
Pretty good.
Невже він створює окрему трансляцію?
Unless he decides to use bar, but he doesn't really have any reason to. You don't need to EX the barrage to kill here. You don't really need to go for blade charge unless you really catch it out. But there's the counter poke launch and the combo to pick it up. And Tekken Master with a clean 3-0 over Kanamani secures a winner's finals position against MK Javier later on. And I'll be honest, this is the Tekken Master I was expecting to see this weekend. It has been a while since we got the chance to see him play in an offline situation, you know, offline major EU style. We haven't had the chance to see it for quite some time. And now, I mean, it's like he never left, you know what I mean? It's like there hasn't been that downtime at all. He's right back, full form, ready to go. And winners finals, minimum third place is secured already. Now, Kanamani is still in there. You know, he just knocked into the losers bracket, so we'll be seeing Kanamani a little bit later on.
Да, не стрімиться. Twitch стрімиться, YouTube ні.
Of the losers side top 8. And those two matches are going to be Boki versus Video Games Yo, and after that, Gur versus a Foxy Grandpa. And that's just to move into the next part of the bracket. Because after these first few matches, Axstar fell to Javier, so is now in that next round of losers, as is now Kanamani. So I don't know why I was acting surprised. I know they're the matches. I'm just what? Wow, you're joking. You're joking. But yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. It's going to be a really sick set of games, and this was just the first two. Yeah. And we've already had some really wild stuff here. Tekken Master versus Javier for the top 3. What a story that is already making, and the story is yet to conclude. So that's fantastic. When we inevitably get to talking about that winners finals in a little bit, I feel like we're going to be repeating ourselves quite a lot in terms of the new to offline, you know, first major appearance versus the experienced player all over again. However, the big difference is Javier has looked focused in and extremely confident in that strategy all weekend long. So I think this is definitely the best winners finals we could have seen at the tournament. But again, we'll get into that a bit later on as we're moving on to our first match, losers round 1. It is Video
Та з Твічем воно трохи легше, але не з YouTube.
From Austria. This is most likely going to be General Shao versus Kung Lao. The question is,
добре. Йой най буде, як то кажуть. Типу, йой, а де чатик взяти? Ну, де? Де він? Де він є? Трохи кринжа, але непогано.
But if there is no Xiao Darius, there are other cameos. The Kung Lao, of course. I've seen all manners of different cameos. Sector in the early days, probably not so much these days. However, we saw Kano cameo for Xiao quite a lot at CT. Like, there's just something about just has a lot of cameo synergy. You know, we've seen.
Добре, налаштував там.
At ECT, the reverse
Налаштував.
to make top 8 with the Serena Xiao. You know, let's not forget that.
Не все я налаштував, треба ще себе буде підняти, та? Десь так приблизно. Бо тут будуть ці бари. Набагато солідніше сьогодні в них арена, ніж вчора була, я так бачу, та? Набагато прикольніше зроблено. Ну, топ-8, та? Ну.
But I don't think we'll see that here. I think we're very likely to see the Xiao more than anything else. He does have a Liu Kang, he does have a Johnny Cage, but I think when the chips are down for VGY...
Я себе трохи ще посуну, ось так, та?
But Boki, I mean,
може меншого зробити.
Нормас. Crowd pleaser, party animal playstyle, but it fits him so good. I was saying this before. He's the scariest kind of chaotic.
Забув уже як стрімити все. Парість. Не цей во.
He's just fearless. No, but that's the thing. He has no fear. He uses that knowledge to know exactly when he can bend the rules, right? When he can play and, you know, disrespect frame advantage. Is there a gap? You have to respect my armor. Cool. I'm not going to do the armor. I'm going to do something weird instead. Like, Boki is so good at that style, and I feel like Lao Goro is built for that strategy. It's so perfect for it.
Цей ваш Twitch.
It looks like while we get set up, I'd like to remind everyone you are watching UFA 2023. This is the European stop.
Прикольно, цікаво, як це вони зробили.
So, turns out, is this a button check or is he actually playing Johnny Cage?
О, привіт, Скайсон. Я ще не налаштувався. Циркумфлексимо.
He does have the cage. Yeah, button check. Okay, yeah, it is a button check. They're button checking. Well, we know VGY does have a Johnny Cage.
Арена солідна у них, так?
He has said for a long time Johnny is one of his favorite MK characters. And he's definitely the kind of player who will pick characters that he likes, and if they happen to be top tier, so be it.
І не видно, на чому грають. На компах. Ага, на компах вони грають, а вже ж.
I think in tournament, all's fair, right? It's like you're here to play, you're here to win. Pro competition, points on the line, prize money as well to be earned. And this is all for that leaderboard spot.
А, кетчупа забрали. Гірчиці теж. І інші ці тепер коментатори. Я один сьогодні, сумно, слухайте. Якщо в кого є можливість зазирнути в Discord, був би не проти, щоб мені не було так сумно одному. Дуже красиво зробили вони оцю штуку на екранах, типу. Що вони обирають персонажів, і воно там міняється згори. Я хз, як це вони зробили, але доволі гарно.
If this is in fact match, because it actually looks like it might be, what, we're doing another check? They did go back to the main menu. Are they just making sure? Or this is actually the match? Yeah, we're doing the infamous second button check. Will we see the forbidden third? It kind of looks like once again the health bars aren't lowered. Unless I'm just completely blind. So I have a feeling that that is what's happening here. This is a thing that we've seen a fair amount, you know, in tournaments. The button check goes into not only that but lowering the health bars, and then they go in, they check again. They're still not lowered. Lower them health bars.
А, ось вони. Тут кілька коментаторів, четверо чи що. Чи вони просто коментують, а ті коментують згорище? Що? Куди? Незрозуміло.
We shouldn't have any reason to. I mean, 4 button checks at that point it's just like just play the match.
А правильно? А як вони думали, що зайти отак от, не почекати батони і відразу погнати грати? Ну це ж так не солідно, не той вон, не той вон.
I don't know what to make of this because VGY, like I said before, he's really solid. You know, he's so good at playing the way he is comfortable with, and that is usually pretty.
Так, сітку показує. О, ще багато боїв, нормас, я встиг, нормас. В принципі.
I don't want to say the opposite because I don't want to make it sound like I'm disrespectful.
Зараз лузерів та будуть показувати. А вінер фіналс, напевно.
I'm not saying he's playing wrong or you know is anything less than a solid player, but you know he'll tell you himself like he does what he wants. You know he goes with his gut feeling. He plays from the heart. You know if he feels like it's going to work, he'll do it. And I wonder how ready VGY will be for that kind of playstyle in tournament, especially. I mean, they're both Combat League demons. I imagine they've played online quite a lot, but obviously. Offline, major top 8 stage, it's a different circumstance altogether.
Розповідають те, що ми розповідали на стрімах, коротше, що онлайн і ліга – це ж різні справи, це взагалі не туди, не сюди.
I will say, especially the Tekken Master versus Kanamani, I did kind of expect that to maybe go the distance. But again, Tekken Master, the eternal, reliable. I strongly think that matchup between Kanamani and Tekken Master, experience played a pretty big role. It looked like it. Because when Tekken Master really started to get momentum, things were kind of falling apart.
Можна прикола потягнути там.
And it almost felt a little bit like, you know, almost losing your cool. That's just what I gathered from the matches. Especially in Game 3, it did look like Kanamani was after the sort of coaching mix-up that happened in the second match, and like, you know, been in that situation before, and then admin's there, and then there are other people there, and everything's going on. Like, it's so easy for that to just take you out of your element. Yeah. You've pumped yourself up, you're playing the matches, and then before you know it, all this stuff's happening. And that's just something that can come with the experience of an offline tournament. A lot of players have made their debut this weekend at UFA. You know, look no further than Javier, who is now sitting in top 3, at least, winners finals versus Tekken Master. We're currently still setting up our Video Games Yo versus Boki matchup, and hopefully it won't be too much longer until.
Довго вони так будуть, це вони туди, не сюди.
Gur versus a Foxy Grandpa.
О, Foxy Grandpa, це має бути цікавий цей там.
That is, I would say, of all of these round 1 matches, the one I'm definitely the most looking forward to seeing. I mean, it's quite biased of me to say, I suppose, but the Foxy Gur match, because it's like, Foxy, much like Tekken Master, I feel we usually describe them in a similar way. Just long-time players, super successful. But Gur as well, you know, one of those players that you just can never count out. And whether it's the performance in the team tournament on Friday, the amount of, you know, running it back through losers we saw yesterday for Gur. I mean, Gur is here to play. And Gur plays...
Тягнув прикола. Тепер у вас два Дмитра.
I think Geras is... I'm going to say it. I feel like Geras could be the most underrated.
Два ведучих. Норма з тема, ну. Де ви такі приколи ще побачите? Я і ще один є, ну. Норма з тема.
It's so strong. He's got such weird utility, right? The kind of the one-bar breaks, the full screen stuns, the damage output, the combo extensions you get with Lau. Now, I understand, obviously, it's Geras Lau, but again, that's the game. It's a team game.
Відволікають, коротше, чуваки. Від чого відволікають, я хз. Можна пришвидшити їх, як на Ютубі, ні?
We do need to kind of, like, address that talking point, I think, where when I see people talk about characters and matchups in general,
Що люди в чатику пишуть цікаво? Бараку там кидають, ні?
People often say, yeah, well, this character ain't that great without that cameo. And my first thought is, okay, great, tell me what game mode in Mortal Kombat 1 allows you to not play with the cameo then. Otherwise, it's always there. You have
Тягнуть час, чуваки, щось заливають, там незрозуміло.
You can't, because that is
Оце воно.
the way the game is balanced around. And I
Це
think
воно.
the sooner, and this is obviously a very personal
Якось можна юзати ці
I feel like the sooner we start talking about
емоджі.
characters as teams, as like, you know, character plus cameo, the sooner we can really start to crack down on who is the strongest in this. Now, unless BGY is playing Natara, I think third button check happening, third button check incoming. It's definitely a third button check, right?
Як вони довго баттон чекають, це просто капець.
The health bars have been lowered, so triple button checks now.
А як, ну? Люди прийшли серйозно, а не цей во.
Don't say it.
Battle check, button check.
The health bars are lowered, and the buttons, I assume, are working if you've checked 3 times. What's left
If we go into the first match, and one of them in that first match is like, oh, my block button was bound to the wrong shoulder button. I will sit here, I will cross my arms, and I will just be like...
Чуваки теж не знають, що розповідати, просто сидять і тягнуть прикола.
You're the only human in my vicinity.
Хто там? А, Шао, та.
You understand. I do. You understand.
Не подобається він мені в цій частині. Він мені взагалі не подобається.
It's Xiao and Darius. Something that VGY has been really sort of innovating, I would say, and has been doing it to great success in competitive. Are they being told that...
Але люди грають.
Please don't do your fourth button check. I noticed that VGY is not wearing the headset, unless maybe he wants the crowd noise, because some players are like that.
It's a fourth button check.
Fourth! No, it's a stage, it was a stage. No, sorry, it's a stage, it was a stage, it was a stage.
Та вдягає навушники, буде зараз грати. Four button check не буде.
Yeah, if we saw 4 button checks, I'm like, we should be like 3 matches deep by now. Yo, Boki with the pink pad, that looks cool. Or is that more of a magenta? What do you call that?
I think it's more of a magenta.
True.
It's like the color of Xiao's shoulder pads.
That's true, actually.
Дуже прикольно в них зроблений цей екран.
Sorry for the delay, folks.
We just had to make sure those buttons were really quick.
We had to like quadruple check that everything was in order. And look, it is.
Хотів кинути його сокирою понизу, але той перебив його і пішов у комбо простик навіжений. Гребнув його вперед, щоб не перекидувати з куточка. І все він в куточку оверхедом з ноги. Та, у нього є оверхед з ноги, може собі дозволити. А, це ансейв. Але сейвився за допомогою гору, але це йому не допомогло. Тепер в куточку Кунло. Тільки набув, вже його там нема. Вискочив Даріус і погнав назад. В лізі я бачу надзвичайно багато шаоканів з Кунла. Мені здається, Кунла тупо всім підходить. Як камео. Засейвити себе капелюхом. І все.
Now the Xiao Darius, on paper, it sounds really solid, right? You get the safe overhead, safe low, launching one grab. Like it all stems from
А що він не довів до кінця?
Right, you really are waiting for Darius to come back. But if you can find it, the offense gets kind of crazy. And the extra health obviously
Підсилив сокиру, бафнув. Що буде робити? І сидить блокує. Але так блокує класно, ну. І кожен що так вміє.
The fact that it costs 2 and it has a chunky cooldown and the fact that they can only really use that move viably, you have to wait.
А все, комба в куточку, та.
Boki really has been rinsing that mix up. Oh, the drop though! Instant punish from VGY
Брейканув.
forces the break. Now going for a break with Lao, the problem
Кинув
is no
капелюх.
bar
А
to
що?
armor for quite
А
some
для
time.
чого?
And no Goro
А
either.
все.
When Kung Lao has no bar and no Goro, he becomes a different experience. So much less threatening. Yes, you have to
Оверхедом
deal with,
фігачить
you know,
його,
still
ну.
the back
А
three
то й
mix-ups,
гребами.
perhaps. Boki just did empty jump.
Не гребує гребами.
My goodness. We do have Darius. There's the
А все
overhead.
пішла комба через
And
Даріуса.
actually, that's 950.
Дуже дивно його юзає, але
950. You're dead. No,
працює.
you're dead. Oh, the EX to make sure.
А все, мертв.
Hey! And in between rounds, cooldown will be allowed. So there's by the time we start the next round.
Я тільки но
half of
помітив,
Darius
що в нього
will be
там
ready.
якийсь
It's
кінжальчик.
quite a long
Для
combo,
чого?
yeah, that makes sense.
Хоч би він його юзав під час бійки, чи що.
If Darius gets hit, he's down for ages. But if you do the combo to bring him back, there isn't a huge amount of time you have to wait.
Накомбив. Дуже дивно. Чи то
то
дроп, чи то є Фредді Фазбер, як то каже Фокс там. А брейкер є, та.
There's a break there for Boki again. He just built it back. Nice overhead. Oh, the meaty. No breaker. Another drop, but this time Boki recognizes, doesn't finish the string. Keeps it safe, even on the drop. So many of these buttons are working out at the moment. We're gonna drop it.
Ну я б поставив би на цього, на відео Games. Але зараз Бокі, як візьме цю ситуйовину в свої руки і переможе.
Manages to secure game number 1. Now you can see the patience that VGY is having to show, right? Because this is like frame 1 armor.
Чекали батон саме для
You
цього.
have to remember, on hit it's a combo, a full launch, and on block it's block advantage because of Goro. So VGY, there are so many situations that you have to respect it. You have to hold it. And Boki knows.
Нема респекту, no respect.
And when to know that you know and do something else. Let's not forget as well, Boki had to make some impressive reverse sweep.
Це був би великий ансейв, якби не Горо. Це кинув сокиру, хоче вийти на комбу. Надурив і порвав греб.
With punish though from VGY, and that's going to open up big damage. Boki, from this point, we're going to cash out.
Вставляє туди Даріуса просто капець. Вставив. Хоп. Єй, нема.
That was the back plus cameo input. I think he maybe just ended up on the wrong side. Unfortunate input error, but VGY still in the lead. Unfortunate drop that would have ended the round. Oh, punish. No punish. Quite surprised actually. There are a few weird interactions in the corner.
Бере відеогеймзо. Бере там. TGL у нього якийсь цей культ, якийсь його. Пішла комба.
With no axe though, it depends on what kind of mix-ups VGY wants to apply here. There's the armored interrupt for yet another time.
Цікаве рішення.
Always a threat here. The extra last minute overhead.
Ну хпшки менше в боки.
Now Boki has to be careful.
Думаю, зараз цей раунд хапне відеогеймзо. А може і ні, гля, зараз навалить йому. Комби. О, пішла комба страшна, все. Не довів до кінця. Знову ж таки, можливо, це така тактика. А все трошечки законектить. Все, це кінець. А, 1-1.
When your opponent is Kung Lao and there is a Goro locked and loaded, because that becomes a full
1-1?
that you have to worry about. And now,
нема такого, щоб в одні ворота, бач?
And it's a game of momentum. As is Mortal Kombat 1, this game is all about whoever has the momentum. The nature of assist-based fighting. It is such a snowball game, especially with these kind of like more aggressive teams. Lao, Goro, especially. But I think the main thing though is that life rate. We start the match and VGY's got the life lead. Yeah, even without having Darius, Darius gives you more HP.
That alone is useful. Now, Goro does get clipped here. He's going to be on cooldown for a bit, so you haven't got to worry as much about armor. However, now Goro should come back. The bait there from Boki, waiting for the wake-up, and is now ready to punish. Can apply mix-ups now. We've got good meter. We've got good positioning. We've got
Хтось цього разу взяв ініціативу Бокі.
Oh, nice damage too. Not too shabby. I actually love that choice as well from Boki. I think Boki did the overhead into the
А все, диви, в куточку. І погнав. Навряд чи, але, типу, може бути. Гребнув. Перехопи ініціативу чи ні? Тепешок менше і менше. Один раз помилочку зробив і все, смерть. Так, все. Ну, це не помилочка, але розкрив його трошечки. І цього вистачило. От, крапаль. А, ініціативу так перебирає і все, перебиває. От Гором цим засейвився і все. Не дає жити. Куточку і пресить його там і все. Гребом. Для чого? Тримав би його в куточку собі. Ще один греб. Гребів мало, не буває.
I will say this is pretty much looking all Boki right now. Not the most explosive round, but Boki in full control. There's just such a threat of the armor. It has completely crippled VGY's offense. When's the last time we saw something into Darius?
Битва гребів.
Just not finding the opportunity, I think. Yeah. Maybe now. Plus frame.
О, приїхав Даріус. Не встиг.
No, didn't get the pickup. That's an expensive drop. That low does look like a rather demanding link. Sadly, I've seen VGY try it one other time on stream, and I don't think got it there either. That has to be considerably harder than the overhead, I'm sure. But now, wait, hit confirm. That's it. That's enough. Failing a drop, of course. Yeah, Spain the fake.
Законектив і смерть.
To be honest, that might not have been 1000% necessary, but Xiao's fatal blow is not the most universally helpful fatal in the game, right? A lot of startup. It has decent range to it, but outside of combos, you're not really going to hit it. You know, it's too slow to be a whiff punish. So if you can, yeah, and obviously it did build for some time for the Darius to come back.
Фінальний раунд.
I definitely agree with that fatal blow. We're going into the next round with almost 3 bars. The armored interruption, and that is why the armor is so scary. With punish though. I think that's like the 3rd time that VGY has. Another. I think that's the 3rd time that VGY has called Darius, and Darius has been hit out of the startup. Like that is so unfortunate for him. That is a rather tragic drop for VGY.
Я поки відволікся, тут уже ХПшки мало. Шаокану. Але є варіант, що він ще повернеться. Ну, насправді не так вже й мало. Греби. Греби, капелюх, греби. Це пішов, поїхав. That's a lot of damage.
And you know Boki's looking to spend it. Oh my god, the dashing grab! But that's because you know you have to respect the armor. Boki.
Лишилось ще менше здоров'я. Але вони йдуть так. Тютілька в тютільку. Все. Шаокан навалив. Далі буде матчпоінт, якщо забирає Шаокан, то Бокі вилітає.
The anticipation when Lao has armor. Boki trying to stay out of range of things like standing 2 or whatever else. There is so much waiting for the opponent to make that first move so I can take advantage of it. No one wants to overcommit. Oh, a misspaced Goro there. This time much better. Gets a full launch. Cash out that.
Але Горо закінчився.
Actually, is that? Yeah, that is a lot.
Офнув сокиру.
As a 200 damage combo from round starts. Like, has that actually evened it out? Boki barely has a life lead after hitting one combo. Isn't that a little bit mad?
Пока.
Missed that before, but VGY gets it this time. All right, this time.
Конектив туди Даріуса.
Oh, the good block there from Boki. The tricky low overhead takes the armor at the first available moment. That was actually a really good answer. Boki has. I've seen him fight Darius before.
Пішла комба.
So he does know of the low overhead.
Тепер буде комба від Бокі. І законектив туди Fatal Blow. Чи вистачить? Не вистачить. Вистачить. Буде копієчка буде в цього ще. Ну, я думаю, лишиться крапаль. Та, лишилось. Нормально лишилось. О, все, і смерть. Вигриз перемогу, вирвав просто з лап цього рогатого бісина.
Good at timing it, so you just have to take. Which one's it going to be, overhead or low? And forcing it off the plus Goro so many times as well. It's a very effective style of offense, and Boki looking good so far. Round away from tying it up, but VGY still 2-1 up. Darius there as well. Do we see him? Will we get the chance, I wonder? In hand to hand, I'm not sure. He's still going to have the overhead low somewhat.
Перебив. І пішов. Бокі забирає ініціативу. Не відпускає так просто. Каже, я так просто не піду. Що ви думали, так мене здихатись? Ні. Бере ініціативу британський бісин.
Watch out though, because there's armor. There isn't Goro, but we are getting kind of tender in the HP department. Down one. Sweet. Doesn't want to overcommit to something into Darius though, because if Darius gets clipped here, you're going to take even more damage.
Він же ж рвав, теж гребе Даріусом. Можна не встигнути. О, туди Горо. Греб. Троу. Ще один. 2-2, інтригу тримають скотиняки, я не можу з них. Інколи є таке враження, що вони реально типу домовлюються, щоб люди більше переймались. 1-1, 2-2. Оце вже матчпоінт 100%. Хто перемагає цей бій, той іде далі. Інший пускається вниз. Підвали збив. А це лузери. Просто вилітає далі, все. Більше не грає. Це все і це край. Глянь, як він впевнено забрав цей... Ну майже забрав, добре. Зараз кембек як буде. Навряд. Кідочок. Discomfort for the opponent, right? Dash up grab, because you got to respect the armor, and Boki now, match point. The low connects again, immediate breakthrough from VGY. Does not want to lose that 300 life. Нервують. Ті думають, хто що вчудить. А нема Горо. Ризиково він так залетів. Щось він дуже впевнено все одно забирає. Зараз навалить. Зараз буде 1-1 знову. Так. О, перебив його цей налітання. І в куточку тепер Лао. Лао і Шао. The axe goes down. That's now going to introduce the overhead low game. Boki is not getting hit by overhead nor low. His blocks on them have been absolutely superb. Channeling that inner MKX. Standing two's going to win. Гребом його. Boki's grabs have just been so good all series long. Там люди, які чисто панікують. Зараз лічильник вийде, коротше, знову. Вони будуть нервувати. А, диви. Влучив. Він влучив. 1-1. 1-1. Я, в принципі, так і думав. Просто ніхто не хоче поступитися. Всі хочуть пройти далі. Boki able to keep his first bar of meter on that one, however. The standing two's going to whiff.
Looking for it. Another armor. That's going to force the breaker. This has been a perfect
А
start
більше
for
нема
Loki.
бару, все.
No commitment. VGY tried to get the confirmation, but missed it. And the crowd's definitely back in. Boki
Ну, напевно... А, все, диви, за боки пройде.
The mix-ups, and now you are in so much trouble. The throw
Буде
counter
кембек,
hanging,
там
Boki was
здоров'я
missing.
просто
No
немає,
last
там
breath,
капель...
no
А,
meter for
все,
last
смерть.
breath.
Якби це був кембек, я
Boki's
офігів
gonna
би.
take it
Я
over
офігів від того, як він
VGY.
заюзав Fatal Blow.
Last game, last round, and staying alive here at UFA. What a round. That was a perfect Boki round.
Що це
Get
було,
that
я не
order,
знаю.
And then it is time to mix. Kung Lao. So many overheads, so many lows. But
Туди
you're
йому
right
і дорога
about
тому
it, though,
бісину.
is, especially off of that back three, right? The back three
Ні,
overhead
насправді,
match, it's a true 50-50, but
хоч я і недолюблю персонажа,
there's normally
починав
a gap
вболівати,
between the
та, за
first
цього.
and the second, you know,
Трошки.
so that the mix-up point, there's normally a gap for armor. But even
Але
on
Бокі
Meaty, he was so good at
на
making it
Кунлау
so
вирвав
just the
свою
overhead or
перемогу.
low would hit by itself. So there was no option to find that armor like as a traditional block string. You have to make the call out.
Зараз буде перерва, давайте не треба.
Так,
повтори показують.
Then obviously he gets to block in time. That was a
навалив
really
таку
fantastic
комбу.
example of Boki
Невелику.
showing why he is so
Достатньо.
successful in Mortal Kombat over the years, right? That Kung Lao loyalty.
Тут просто була
And
битва
now here,
гребів.
moving on in this losers top 8,
Дуже
securing
багато.
minimum 5th place. And VGY, of course, being eliminated at 7th. But I will say, VGY, 2 pro
Перескочив був.
competition major top 8s in the bag. That is a good amount of points on the leaderboard secured already going into final combat some way through 2024. When we inevitably get to that point that we start looking for the best of the best, VGY put himself in a good spot to get
То
a
й
nice
далі йде
tidy
тоді
amount
в
of
фінал,
points
та.
to make his life a lot easier as we move through to the rest of the pro comp events through the year. There's one thing Boki was able to demonstrate there, it is just that composure and the ability to just constantly keep his cool and to remain just in good shape, essentially. We saw that a lot actually from Boki yesterday. There were quite a few matches where Boki was against the ropes.
А є можливість цю штуку картинку в картинці зробити, ні? Це тільки Ютуба фіча, та?
Not necessarily the same thing here because it was very back and forth, but win that clutch final game, that final round.
Pop-out player, pop-out. Ні, не буде, just a second. Буде pop-out.
Is absolutely ridiculous. Foxy Grandpa to your left, Gerd.
О, оце буде дуже цікавий бій.
Versus the United Kingdom, two fan favorites.
UK versus United. UK versus USA.
These are two players who
UK versus United Kingdom, та, нормально сказав.
I mean, Gur is a sweetheart to begin with, you know, one of the nicest guys you will ever meet and
Ideally
talk
so.
to in the FGC, but plays like a total demon with that Gyros, right? He has that effective strategy, play for that rewind, know you've got that safety net to fall back
А
on.
Фоксі не
But
цій
also,
грає, та
true
на
master of
Китані.
the character, I think, is Gur. You know, a real Gyros loyalist, which, to be honest, is weird to say, because I know Gyros was new to 11, which has only been like, what, 4 or 5 years? But, I mean, Gur just clicked with that character immediately and has been rocking Gyros exclusively in tournaments pretty much from 2019 all the way until now. Foxy Grandpa, however, really has kind of found his footing in MK1 in the way of mainly Katana Kung Lao. He is a very dry player, very willing to spend the entire game, you know, at long range, playing that kind of runaway, keep out
Будуть
style.
робити тест батон.
But knows when it's time to
З
go in.
DualShock'ом
Obviously, you know,
прийшов.
can get the optimal damage on point. Katana is definitely not a character that does low damage,
налаштовує там
especially if
тому
you have the
другому.
execution to hit those optimals. And we definitely do be seeing that from Foxy Grandpa. Now, matchup-wise, I predict we will be seeing Gyros versus Katana. Now, one major thing that I am looking for is I do wonder how Gur will deal with the extreme keep away, because Gyros, I'll be honest, his keep away in this game, it's decent, especially with like Lao cameo if you have the low hat to work with, but it's not all that. It certainly wasn't. It's not what it once was in MK11, I'll put it that way. He's not going to spend the whole game zoning you out. Also, if you are building a strategy around, you know, taking a lot of risks because you know you're good at managing the rewind,
Доєднали йому.
you can, I mean, how do you rewind projectile hits? You know what I mean? Gur is
А
used
що у них
to
там пески
getting
стоять,
opened
та,
up by
під
significant, like,
низом?
confirms from
Не
combos,
показують, що вони.
strings, and then
Скоріше
finding
за
the right
всього,
point in the juggle to rewind.
PlayStation.
How do you do that if you're spending the whole
Ну,
game
минулого разу
out
точно
with
вони були.
projectiles and low hats and fans and all sorts? That's the thing.
How do you rewind? The way Foxy plays and the way he's going to obtain his damage before you close in the distance is not time rewind friendly. So we will see how far this one goes here. Both players will be rocking the
Фоксі точно не тільки на Китані вміє. Просто він навалює всім на Китані, бо ніхто до неї не звик. Та?
Katana has different cameos you can pair for different styles, but for the way Foxy plays, low hat makes the zoning some of the
Але
best
Герес
in the game.
просто
And Geras,
дуже
low
страшне
hat
виконання
allows
цього
him
вуйка.
to establish a bit of range control. It helps with his keep away, but it also helps
Плюс
with
брейкер майже безкоштовний. Ну, небезпечно його робити, але... Ну, в сенсі на це його, насейвити, щоб потім заробити. А так це дуже типу читерно. Але таке і в грі, тому...
When you look at the top of the cameos right now, you're looking at the Kung Laos, the Striker, Goro for the characters that he makes work. So we're not being too thrown off by cameo picks in tournament this weekend. However, we'll say, you know, that no
Так думають, коротше.
GUI with that Darius, because Darius in general just is not a cameo we see much at all, to be honest. And that's watching you and Ranked with that sub Darius over the last few weeks. No comment. The experimentation, but this is definitely going to be a Kung Lao cameo mirror, because they're two characters that really, I mean, they need it to do the game plan that they're enforcing. You know, Geras with the Lao allows him to set up those clocks so he can get them stocked and obviously get the utility of the snap or the rewind, and then I mean, obviously it helps for combos and keeping those long-range buttons safe or plus. And Kitana, it is all about that neutral.
Kitana, та? І обидва на Кунлау. Там вони чекають батони. І вже погнали грати. Погнали грати зразу. Не, які красені.
We didn't quite see it on camera because the way the camera was panning. Gur started with held low hat into attempting to get the rewind ready. Foxy started with a round start EX rotating fan, and it punished it immediately. That is Foxy watching Gur over the weekend and knowing what to look for. But that right there is an element of the matchup that Gur has been so good at this weekend. So many Kung Lao cameo players, that overhead goes right over it at the right.
Що Кунлау треба різати, та нерфити їх. Я трошечки.
The zoning is something that Gur's going to have to be a little bit worried about. Even with the Kung Lao cameo, Geras is one of the characters that just naturally has less health.
Всі грають на ньому, він занадто читерний, та. Занадто круто їм сейвити себе. Налетів на капелюх, та. Він сейвить просто страшенно цим своїм лоу. Боже, просто геніальна грання. Покарав його за цей зонінг. Он знову зараз буде зонити, ні.
It's going to slightly slow down that defensive game from Foxy. One projectile too many. Max range overhead, very hard to punish. Some characters can't even do it. But that's one thing though about Gur, right? Gur has been very used to just going.
Це ж Гр, точно. Легендарний гравець.
But he's not, you know, he's not a fool.
Зараз забере цей раунд, коротше, цей Гр на Герасі. Та, полетів.
And that's exactly what Gur will need to do in the set. If it's not going to go his way, but this has been a much better round for him. Foxy, however, looking good in this corner.
Ногою добив його і все. Зараз він пристосується до нього і буде йому дупа.
You know that if it's going to trade favorably and win for you, another thing Foxy has to worry about. You're going to keep a mental note of how many hourglasses Geras has built up, because if he has.
Хоча за Китану насправді грають настільки мало, що мені хотілося б, щоб Фоксі переміг. Не вийде йому так зазонити його, та? А Китана повністю майже на зонінго гарантується. Ну майже. Інакше за нею, типу, навряд чи вийде грати.
An interesting full screen game. Two of them. I mean, look at the way Gur has already adjusted. If you're not going to get away with
Тобто йому просто треба зробити 3 годинника, та? А він може робити брейкер тоді цей. Безкоштовний.
Walking Gur into the corner. How much that's going to mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Whiff punished there with the sweep. Oh, no Lao to follow up. And there's the third. Almost punished. Not quite. Expect some sort of backwards movement there. Foxy being respectful, but the range of Gur and that Geras again showing it respect plus frames. This time we shut it down. A throw tech from Gurr.
Ну, ініціатива поки на боці гр.
They've got the rewind,
Брейкер,
though, it doesn't
бач.
matter. 10 seconds on the clock, by the way.
Там зараз за часом програ. А, от не законектить.
Okay, no, this is actually quite
Законектив.
smart. So Foxy goes for the early fatal blow. It's going to freeze the timer.
Законектив.
Now, this is a good way of spending that time that's left. If you go for the fatal blow now, you have more time to get the life lead back when this is finished.
А все, тепер здоров'я менше в того.
Immediate. Oh, no.
Зараз таймером переможе, диви. А,
Wait,
все.
who wins? No! What?
Гр
Foxy had the
переміг.
life lead, so it didn't look it on the health bar.
Це було дуже розумно з його боку, але
Until that
це йому не
connected, and I think
допомогло.
that was like 0.0 whatever to get that life lead at the very last second. That was
Вдудлить
so
воду.
close. And I would like to remind you, by
Рознервувався.
the way, the reason that went to such a timeout thing is because every time Foxy hit Gurr, he had the
А Фоксі буде міняти
bar
Кітану?
time rewind to undo
Ну я
all
знаю,
that
що він
work.
купу персонажів знає.
The fact that Geras has
Але буде на Кітані.
950 health doesn't really mean much when he can constantly undo the damage you've done for 1 meter. Oh, went for the tech throw. No launch from Foxy though. Yeah, spent the bar on the square wave, but didn't get the lift. Probably just an execution error. And the full screen conversion.
Донить
of the
засирає
projectile
просто
damage.
страшним
Oof,
чином його.
It's gonna add up. Oh, now I don't think that counts as the spend unless the snap has gone off. So I think Gurr
Найприкольніші моменти, коли оце вони так туди-сюди, туди-сюди. Нервують. Все, диви, цю ініціативу взяв уже Фоксі. Засейвив себе, але це йому не допомогло. Та йому дупа все в цьому раунді, принаймні.
And this is the way Foxy, I think, is going to be looking to play this matchup. Oh, technically unsafe there, I guess, but harder to know. But this is the way that Foxy wants to play. Don't go in unless it's absolutely necessary. Death by 1,000 cuts. Or in this case, 1,000
Це ініціативу бере гр.
for the hourglass. We have once more a free combo breaker or an anti-projectile.
Хто перший взяв ініціативу, той переміг. Ну, так от якось працює.
Command grab now for Gurr.
Дуже рідко камбеки бувають, але бувають.
Doesn't matter. He's got the 1-bar breaker. I laugh at your attempt to combo. Oh, but Foxy punishes it. He read it like a book. I mean, Gurr still got the activation, I think.
Там він просто намагався вирвати перемогу, цим Fatal Blow туди вставляв. Але не вийшло.
Now this life even chip damage is a threat because also the bar you build in the process. Foxy
Почав ухилятись від нарешті.
Oh, no commitment, but at this time again you don't really need to. You need to a very non-committal.
Але здоров'я якось тепер менше вже в Герас.
I mean, how does Gurr bring this back? Gurr needs something big, and Foxy is not
Це
leaving up
зараз
opportunities unless we see that.
пішла
full
комба,
snap, and now
не
fatal
комба,
blow
ні.
becomes a threat.
Могла б бути.
Breaks the break, yep, has to be done.
А цьому типу брейкер
Oh, that was scary games to play.
і не треба.
One finger snap and that fatal blow was getting spent. You know it
Вже
was.
взагалі не
I
треба
was saying
там.
before, Gurr needed something big to make it back into that round, and dare I say,
1-1.
very
Знову
early.
будуть тягати оце.
But Foxy once again
Той
used that
один,
very
той один.
good
Не так.
meter management,
Але
saving
як
it for
цікаво
a
дивитись,
This match is going exactly how I expected.
набагато
After
довше
every
розтягується це
round
діло
is gonna
через
take
це,
a
але
long
так
time
цікаво,
because
що,
of
типу,
just
немає
the
такого, що
characters you see and how
у когось
they're going to
0.
play.
А, не змініть цей 1-1, що ви?
Gurr fighting
Ну
for the
капець,
tournament
Незери.
title as
Дзвоніть
Foxy,
Адубу,
Gurr
ну хай
traveling
міняють
all the way from the
циферки.
States for this. Foxy in rare occasions
Неправильний
only has to
рахунок
fly an hour
виставили,
or
ну.
so. The shoe is on the other foot. Oh, that little juicy two-piece.
Цей зонінг його просто.
But you can see how just how much patience has to be displayed.
У нього доволі повільний стартап.
I mean, Gurr obviously needing to get something off the ground, but the main downside Gurr is going to find is there is just no
Відновились
freedom
капелюхи.
in this neutral to get
Капелюх.
stocks up for free. If Gurr can find the stocks, he has to be so careful with where he builds them and where he spends them. Because look, too far away. That's
Та
going to
бере
trade favorably
ініціативу.
for Foxy, however. There we go. Finds a little bit of time, gets it stocked. Hourglass means
Ще
fingers
пару
snapped is dangerous.
фенів,
Foxy showing it
пару
respect.
віял
And
і
Gurr,
все,
knowing that
кінець.
Foxy's worried about it, still didn't chase it down.
А,
I thought
так
for
його.
sure that would catch.
Окою.
But no, square wave. That's one thing that Foxy does with Katana is just a real good awareness of when to get away with that square wave movement. All right. That sand pillar on the jump back, something that Gurr's going to be using quite a lot throughout the course of this match, to be honest.
Пастку робить йому, пастку.
The damage is okay. That was a mistake. There's no chance that was intentional. And the reason that's extra bad for Foxy is look at the cooldown of Kung Lao compared
Це
to
пішла комба.
so smart there for Gur.
Ні, не буде, бо брейкер є.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that cameo meter. Foxy's having to wait out that entire cooldown bar before being able to use low hat again, unless he's going to keep the slow cooldown for
Брейкає.
the remainder of the round. Yeah, he's definitely waiting for it.
Засирає.
Now it's back. There it is immediately, yeah, Foxy showing awareness of that cooldown.
Економно використовує Кунлао, так?
Alright, those 3 bars have been stocked, with the hourglasses, I guess I should say here. That's going to be a whip punish on the escape attempt. I absolutely love those sweeps that Gur is going for, though, because Gur keeps doing it. Every time Foxy leaves himself 0,
Полетів.
Gur is going for just the sweep.
Велика комба, ля. Така вона виконується доволі не швидко. Вирвав. Прилетів у пастку. Забайтив його на ці телепорти. Може це мешнув кніпку. Доволі небезпечна ця штука.
That's happened twice in this match. All right, Gur.
Типу Китані на відстані норм, їй не треба взагалі зближуватись. Він пастку поставив, кидає свої в'єла. І все. І весь ігролад. Типу їй взагалі не треба підходити ближче. Нема сенсу. Просто стерти цими в'єлами, як навіжений. І все, і ця гра.
Goes flawless blocks to deny even more of the meter build, the chip damage. Oh wow, okay, jumps into it. And Foxy again, the second he sees that he's getting even close to that corner.
Ну і пастку робити. Для чого він робив ту пастку? Ну, я принаймні не бачив, щоб хтось у ту пастку трапляв, чисто щоб відволікати увагу. Але воно працює, он хпшка грррр тікає.
Uses that free time, all 3 locked in. That's going to force the break. Forces the break. Go with the lifeline left, but nothing left now.
Цю штуку можна брейкнути, мені цікаво.
Foxy doesn't need to overcommit now. That's okay.
Ага.
Oh, he knew.
Просто чекає і переміг за рахунок часу. Страшні грають так довго, що вже типу лічильник виходить. Це 2-1. Матчпойнт, якщо перемагає Фоксі, грррр, вилітає. Бараку думав зараз візьме, ніфіга собі. Фоксі водичку пив. Ну Фоксі не буде міняти, йому і не можна за правилами. Ну.
He might be remembering that one time he used the finger snap when Foxy tried to escape and it was a free punish. But the problem is if you use that and you leave yourself like, I mean, how much damage are you going to get for that instance? And also, how long is it going to take you to build it back up again? And there is also one major thing in this matchup.
Рандомні мапи обирають. Переміг часовщика часом, та. Страшний. Просто чекав, ну як не чекав, лічильником переміг, та.
I think this, of all the matchups we've seen Gur have to play, this is one that it looks like it is the most out of his comfort zone. But, you know, Gur was known to being much more of like the patient players.
Ну він бере ініціативу в свої руки. Мені здається, зараз буде 2-2. Ну він же цей раунд зараз забере, чисто на ініціативі. Йому не вийде вже його так зазонити просто. Нарешті гра не просто на зонінгу, якась комба вийшла. Більшість часу просто відходить. А глянь, вони вже зрівнялись майже хпшками. Набагато впевненіше цього разу грав. Грррр. GRR.
And I'm pretty sure. No, he must have spent it. Okay, I was totally miscounting that then. It's a good thing I'm not playing. I'd have lost.
Починається засирання.
It's a difficult element of the character to keep up with it, right?
Because there's no on-screen indicator or anything on Geras. You just have to know that he's got it. On the flip side, you know, the Geras player doesn't have that information either. So it's just one of those elements of the matchup that both players have to keep tabs on. Ooh, looking for a punish with the reappear. The throw text of Gur have been
брейкнув.
but of course there will be
Це,
a
ну,
combo
занадто, типу, камон.
Opening up Geras for big damage just looks so rare.
Я б курвився проти такого грати, типу. Тільки вивів на щось нормальне, а той бах. Брейкнув.
Yeah, and I actually think that maybe surprised Foxy as well. Just went for a quick little improv ender there.
Пастку цю робить, просто в неї не входить.
There's two. We just need one more. And there's the third. The bar gets spent, but again, a second time. Oh, but the combo drop from Foxy leaves him punishable on landing, and Gur is ready.
Це в куточку.
Low hat, of course, expects the down button. Gur's gonna capitalize and punish. Foxy with the
Ні, ну якщо зараз відкриє і там туди Fatal Blow влупить. Він гребчиком.
There's only 50 health left. How does Foxy bring this round back? Oh, cannot do so as Gur takes the
2-2.
game. And another game 5 we are going into for this last.
Там уже реально буде матчпоінт, все.
Who's getting eliminated? Who's going to move forward? Is it going to be Gur or Foxy Grandpa? Oh, I will say though, I'm happy this set is going the distance because these are two players who I've definitely been looking forward to watching in this top 8. It's just sad that only one of them can move forward. But I'll tell you, if you are in the chat right now, if you're a Gur supporter, if you're woken up nice and early in the USA, he needs your support now. Could be the last game of the
Знову засирає.
Back to this range. Now there is no breaker on tap, so this will be free damage. Gur still has it though, so that's either going to be... Oh, surely that's a combo breaker. But because it was the last 3 seconds... Oh, wow, okay, no. I thought he might have...
Але ініціативу так взяв непогано, навіть відразу з самісінького початку. Погнав.
Now, yeah, that dynamic of that 2-4 from Katana is 0 on block. So every time Foxy has been doing that, it's been sweeps from Gur exclusively. That disjointed sweep, you know, safe for that
хотів
range.
вхопити, але отримав
So getting tricky now, we're getting later.
покарання гребом.
It's a really good start here for Foxy Grandpa. There is the possibility of a comeback here, but it's going to be...
Нема Герасу чим зонити, а то хіба що через кунглав.
And that was off to a pretty perfect start. Now,
Можливо, Фоксі і вибере цю перемогу. Ну, скоріше за всього, я так собі думаю. Хоча Гр дуже навіжено грає за Гераса просто.
I'm always looking at what Gur's going to build. Overhead trade. A trade that's not too bad for Foxy at the moment. With punish, and there, of course, is the breaker.
Цей брейкер. Призовий фонд великий, не маленький.
Such a good button. What a trade. Can you still get the combo? Yeah, immediate. Oh, that is not good for Gur. Yeah, Gur got out of it, but he just spent a bar to get that. That's 2 bars gone. It's better than 3, I guess, but still immediately...
Не те, що на дотах, звісно, але теж непогано.
Seizes the life lead. And with a lot of bar to spend again, Foxy, breaker territory again. Gur gets the break, has to use it immediately again, by the way. That is so much meter being
Засирає знову,
no
та.
benefit other than to just keep yourself alive. However, this is Gur. He has been on fire all weekend. When it's time to clutch, he can clutch. He just has to do it one last time. But if you've got a clutch, it's so difficult in this scenario. So much meter for Katana. Chip damage a threat. Kung Lao ready to go. Plus
Зараз забере цей раунд, та? Гребом, та? І все.
To finish off game number 5 here, as Foxy Grandpa is going to be taking it over Gur here in the loser side. Of course, all good sports all round, but my goodness, was that go in the distance? That was a hard-to-call match all the way up until the very end. Foxy just choosing those select few couple of times as the right moment to go in. Even though Gur had the rewind, had the free breakers, not necessarily free breakers, but the 1-bar version, he was spending so much meter on those that he was using it for nothing else. And that was just unfortunate timing his end, of course. Massive shout.
$255,000 призовий фонд, та. 255, та. В Києві в кінці 90-х був турнір по ультимату МК3, головний приз Сонька перша була. Ну то на той час було солідно.
Sometimes it's like first time on, you know, just a long haul flight in general. So of course, nice to see you make the trip out, and of course,
Я нагуглив. Кажуть, 255 тисяч призовий фонд. Доларів.
Everyone always would prefer to get further in the tournament. It's just the nature of competition, I suppose. But Gurr just continuing to be this clear fan.
А минулий турнір скільки було? 500, по-моєму. Тут трохи, бач, трохи бідніше.
Which gives you both a tactical advantage in tournament and then also
То всі на всі турніри. Тоді тут 10. Тоді 10.
Take the character you want to play. We're seeing a lot of specialists do quite well here.
10к. Тут теж 10 там. 3к всього. А, ну то зрос чого не прийшов сюди Sonic Fox, не цей во.
With that. Foxy a little bit different because he's more about a gameplay side. However, if he believes in something like this katana, for example, he's going to go as far as he can with it. But either way, I want to give a shout out to Mountain Dew for supporting this pro competition, powered by, of course, you can see here in the instant replay, a massive amount of support for competitive Mortal Kombat. We thank them very much for doing that. And we have more of this top 8 to get through.
То повтори стали трохи краще робити. Крапельку. Ні, все одно перемоги показують.
We're definitely getting through it, and this has definitely been an event that I've enjoyed watching and definitely been looking forward to over the last few months, right? Ever since they first announced that UFA was going to be a pro competition event, I think
3к гривень, 2к за купівлю МК1, 1к на приток. 3к доларів. Ну, насправді це теж не дуже, типу, щоб прямо...
UFA. So, you know, it definitely has been an event that's been exciting so far. We still have a good bunch of matches.
На землі не валяюся.
The best players left in the tournament, right? But I really am
2600 на МК там. І решта якось на цей доїхати. Знак питання, ус знак питання. Теж 10к. Ну, я ж кажу 10, загуглив. Ну, перше, що мені видав Google... Оу, що це таке? А, Black Friday. Я думаю, що за картинки такі гарні. Знижки. Купіть МК на знижках. Ну, вже не 2к, а 1,5. Ні, дякую. На Switch не купуйте МК, там виглядає просто огидно.
Good time to do it is right now. But outside of the Black Friday sale, there is also merchandise you can buy as part of Mortal Kombat 1 and the Pro.
Зараз кажуть перерва.
Я wbshop.com and rep your favorite characters in whatever kind of merchandise.
Що в них так мало цих варіантів? Люкан, Скорпіон, Кітана і Саб-Зіро, Скорпіон, щось. А як же Барбараці?
Liking the variety we've seen, sadly we have had to say goodbye to both Video Game Show and Gurr, as is the way. And when we return from our next break, we're going to have to say goodbye to a few more because we're going into that next round of losers. I don't quite have the bracket in my head, but obviously we'll bring into it and you'll see the matches that we're going to be playing. There's 4 more players that have a potential to leave us, but we'll see how that one's going to go. We're going to go
мають потенціал покинути нас.
See you very soon.
Перерва. You have destroyed world. Я вас зрозумів. Що будемо робити під час перерви, панове? Що будемо робити? Рубати в МК. Я рубав Dishonored до того, записував це так, спойлери. Можемо в X піти порубати. А скільки перерва, я ще не знаю, буде. Я запущу. Треба собі десь відкрити їхній цей стрім. І дивитися. Показують трейлер Омнямена. Як він остогид. Але він в бані, до речі, за нього не можна на цьому турнірі було грати. Not today. Оу. Так, чатик треба собі видвинути. Ведучі це молоді зі топ. Це кетчуп і хто там, я забув уже. Кетчуп там точно був, а інші гірчиця. 100%. Цікаво, скільки в них У них 3000 людей дивиться, щось не солідно, неповажно. Не ті кніпки. Порубаємо трохи. Як вже задовбав мене цей трейлер Омнімена, просто я не можу. Ну його крутять вже другий турнір поспіль, ні? Щоб щось нормальне крутити. Вимкнули б там, не знаю, щоб боти бились на фоні чи хизи. Хай би ведучі там щось помешали. Було б хоча б трошки цікаво, чи що. Всі мої мешерські колеги на роботі. Я маю 2 вихідних. У них там реклама рептилоїдська. Треба продати Омнімена, тому і рекламою спамлять. Мені здається, їм просто більше немає що показати. Я бачу цей Skysong теж грає, але він з роботи, тому там таке. Так, в мене. Хто проти мене? Кунлао проти мене. Так, ще й з гору. Ну, це професійна кіберкотлета, я тут не переможу. Тут, мені здається, відразу програш мій. Відразу програш мій. А, все, диви. А, все, пішла комба. А не пішла комба. А, ну зараз буде. Та, ніц не зроблю, все, смерть мені. Я вже в куточку, мене загнали. Хіба вейкапит. А, диви, вейкапити навіть не дозволяє. Він стоїть такий впевнений, блокує. Локей. А, вони так швидко. Ну, зараз я цей програю, та й підемо. Це дух зникнув. Бля! Капець він витворяє. Влучу? Не влучив. Бля, він влучив. Бля, тру мені зробив. І вбив мене бруталкою. На турнірах яких супротивники простіше, тоді ми ж одні профі. Бля, він трусить руками навіжений. Ні, реально в лізі останнім часом дуже прошарені чуваки. Там нові ведучі. Добре, тоді буває МК, пішли дивитись далі.
Crazy, I think, is the best way to describe it. From start to finish, we've had nothing but some insane games going on, and this has been a really...
В МК лишились одні профі, реально. Ті, хто хоч щось там шарять. Ні, але те, що я хоч щось йому міг зробити, це вже непогано. На моєму мешинговому дідівському рівні. Повтори крутять. Тривай, вони ж не грали. Що це за повтори? Та, напевно, тих чуваків, що зараз гратимуть, крутять.
Now we're going to talk about some of these things because he had some insane presence of mind to confirm this and then get the kill for how much damage was it? Almost a 50%.
And let's not also forget, when it comes to playing a character like Striker, you do have a smaller health pool because...
Він тібегав чи що, чим він займався, того ніхто не знає. Фаталку хотів зробити, що? Переказують, що було.
He was a robot for that. I mean, I don't think any of us could have really expected that. The crowd over here has been getting loud as well. When the moment we see VGY pulsing off like that, it was insane. However, Boki completely stole back momentum.
Грали, ти пізно прийшов, Скорб вже в фіналі. О, Скорб у фіналі, ніфігово. Привіт, 3DL. Якщо Скорб переможе цей турнір, я офігію. Дуже поважний гравець має, щоб перемогти за Скорпіона. Він в цій частині якийсь... Та Антон є. Ну та тут не підписаний Антон же ж. То я такий геній підписаний там Дмитрові новини, та? Ну, Скайсонг теж не Скайсонг. Неочікуваність. Якби я був не Дмитро, це взагалі було б. Так, ці ведучі не дуже. Поверніть старих, будь ласка. Та-та, повертайте до Wonderful Commentators. Здоров, кетчуп та гірчиця. Доброго вечора, що тут відбувається? Турнір МК відбувається. Ну, поки не відбувається, поки щось там вони трендять, відволікають увагу, поки гравці готуються грати, поки там налаштовуються. Це що таке? О, це я не знаю, що це таке. Це...
players here. It's their first tournament. It's their first time traveling. Their first time attending a major. Their first time playing on stage, playing on stream in person, whatever. Boki is not one of those.
Ну та, то на першому турнірі, що було, там взагалі була не солідна. Чисто в актовому залі якомусь зібрались. А тут така непогана арена. Ну, можна було б прикольніше зробити, але те, що зробили, теж нефігово. Особливо подобається з цим екраном здоровенним. Коли вони обирають персонажів, там показує, типу, цих персонажів великими. Не просто меню з гри, ото, а солідно зроблено. Оцей батон-чек триває дуже довго, поки перевірять, там яка куди кніпка. По-своєму поналаштовують той геймпад. А людина з цим, з аркадним стіком не пройшла нікуди, вона така байда. І на ній рубаєш, як ото аркадний автомат. А хтось собі просто так рубає. А, ні, то повтори крутять там, так? В нас на віплей круче було, але віплей це ж лайно, ну то. Нам треба, щоб цей, в Маркуса був такий турнір. Не в актовій залі, в будинку культури, як мінімум. Теж зробити сцену, здоровенний... Ні, ну я думаю, на віплей не було такого здоровенного екрану. Хоча я не бачив, не знаю. You know, it's why they say offline is a different beast entirely. Now, you know, not to completely discredit, Kanamani more than capable. Столові, та. Краще за моніків з столам поставили 100-дюймовий та крісла мішки, та. Крісла мішки, до речі, тема. Он, диви, як вони зробили прикольний вибір персонажів. Типу вони обирають, і вони такі великі на весь екран, типу туди-сюди. Гарно. Considering how popular Johnny Cage is in EU, there has been a surprising lack of Johnny in the later stages of it. Because a lot of the Johnny Cage players later were then playing... У мене в університеті, коли я вчився, була така тема. Купа телевізорів з'єднаних в один телевізор там. Така велика плазма з кількох плазм. Прикольна тема. То це ж котлети... Їм швидкі моніки подавай, та.
Johnny K just kind of seems to be that number one for a lot of players, but we'll be seeing him again here as Kanamani versus Boki. Again, losers.
У мене якийсь такий, знаєш, найдешевший монітор, якось несолідний, та кіберспортсмен, бляха. Це вже вони грають, чи це вони патончек роблять? І де ці, як вони називаються? Ага. А, просрали трохи. Трохи вони просрали. Оці плашки з іменами.
I feel like Boki had such a great start, but is so massively down on life. Being able to catch out that parry though.
Пан Канімані і Брокі. А Брокі, Бокі. Законектив, все. Смерть. Смерть, все, нема. У мене швидкий монік, але пиво трохи дає імпутлаг.
Well, I feel like Boki started off strong and then suddenly wasn't and then just won the round. I feel like that is just the snowball momentum game that you play with Lau and Johnny Cage, such an aggressive
Ну,
character.
Кейдж страшніший за Лао, я думаю. Ну, але то в умілих руках. І Скорп фінал пройде.
Against Kung Lao, that doesn't mean you're getting a button. He's going to challenge that. He's going to make you sweat. All right, low poke. Delayed overhead. He doesn't do the overhead straight away. He always slightly delays it. Ends it in the 1-2-1 to keep the close positioning. Goro's gone for a hot minute, but again, without Goro, the 1-2-1 on its own, ending you closer, introduces grabs, introduces stuff up close.
Законектить? Брейкер. А брейкером?
I don't think that would have killed. Maybe not. But looks like Boki trying to play it safe.
А він без фаталблоу зараз його. Куточок загнав. І ще й набив собі цей, як він називається? Хайп-метр. Щоб була якась міліна чашра. Я не бачив, принаймні. Але я ж не відразу дивився, я трошки запізнився. Поки дійшов, поки сюди, поки запустився. Вітаю. Канімані. Вчора були на відборах. А, та, були Міліна точно була, пам'ятаю, та, телепортувались то. Чи бруталку зробили, та? Фоксі робив бруталки на Китані. Чого брехню закинув? Колись я повернусь до неї.
Regardless, Kanamani manages to swing things around, secures that first game. Now, Kanamani, we have to remember, inexperienced in the offline space, but in the online realm, a true young prodigy. Basically wins everything.
Я МК ще закину, чекайте. А то буду тільки дивитися, як хтось інший грає. Самому тяжко все. Старість бере своє. Пішов в РДР рубати замість того, ну.
Without some issues, but Kanamani, by and large, is looking good, especially as we get further on in this tournament. Keeping that composure. And that's a big part of playing offline, right? When it doesn't go your way, how to recover from it, you know, how to deal with it and get back to your usual self.
То Бокі заганяє його в куточок.
Nice damage to start things off. Juicy damage. Oh, sweep into Goro. Okay.
Хто зараз візьме цей раунд? А? Опа. Хотів щось вивести цим. І знову в куточку, і все, зараз бій забере цей. На ініціативі чисто. Он шедоу-кіком його. You know what I'm saying? I just realized I just said MK1, but I meant like MK1 from 92, otherwise known as Mortal Kombat. But not Mortal Kombat 9. I made a video about the original Mortal Kombat the other day, and I was like, wait, I'm messing myself up now. Пішов у комбу.
But you know who's also getting messed up right here? The armor. Oh, no Goro though.
Дуже-дуже ансейвово. Ці телепорти, це щось просто, щось із чимось. Та, забрав бій. 1-1?
definitely called out by Boki as well. I actually think Boki had it because that overhead, could it have been fatal blown or was Goro still?
I believe Goro was on cooldown.
Yeah, I think
Goro
so,
was on cooldown.
Very unlike Boki to miss
A distinct head shake there from Kanamani. Acknowledges that it was just a silly mistake. Easiest thing to rectify, isn't it? Think, hey, look, I just got to not do.
Я вже думав, це щось Twitch мені пише, а це в них якісь трабли на PlayStation. В куточку вже боки. А Кейдж у куточку просто страшний. Цікаво, що вони накосячили, що в них з'їхали вниз ці плашки з іменами, нікнеймами. Це знову в куточку і це смерть, я думаю. Так.
I actually think that is a very Kanamani thing to do though. Of all the Johnnies I've seen, Kanamani like has more successful.
Ну, Джонні страшний. Його і так багато.
You see that clean whiff punish? There's the throws being introduced once more. Again, we're throwing Boki out of the.
Дуже ініціативно цього разу пан Канімані грає.
Kanamani just do held low hat into a whiff jump kick. I wonder what I was looking for. More of these parries. That, I think, was definitely a bait on armor, I think. From that range, the fact that Boki's got 3 bars locked in, looking for it again.
Метушаться.
Has to make something happen, but Kanamani really in
Кинув капелюха йому, там досить метушні.
Just to create a situation. Oh, the interruption. Yo, that was so bold from Kanamani. That Goro is so plus, but he called it out. And Boki did go for the overhead. Oh, Goro!
І все, забрав.
Which made the kick punishable. And that's going to be another game here for Kanamani. One more, and will eliminate Boki from this tournament. The patience. I liked the patience.
Коротше, думаю, цей пан вийде далі. Дуже він на Кейджі агресивно грає. Або буде Бокі міняти персонажа, в чому я сумніваюсь. Та дам трохи звуку. Тільки то не в гарнітуру. А, з турніру. Трохи дав, так.
Wait, this? Oh, hang on a minute. That was expensive wake up from Kanamani, that 2-bar. But the parry, no, didn't get the.
О, взяв раунд, поки я тут цей туди-сюди.
Decision, but the wrong timing. I mean, if Kanamani got that wake up nut punch, there would have been confidence to make that full comeback. And we were seeing Kanamani full speed ahead after, so I think the confidence was there, just not the right timing, I guess. Boki now has the round, could potentially tie this up. Escape failed. Again, Kanamani consistently going for the less obvious direction of a throw. Uh-oh, hype mode. Yeah, that's scary. Especially with Kanamani, you know, he's got the execution for those. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, okay, there's the activation. Use it to get in, I respect that. Oh, armor break with the double shadow kick.
You think you've got armor, mate? Think again.
Oh, baby! Right in the nuts! With the last scraps of the hype meter, take this nut punch go through. And that is going to bring Kanamani into match point. That mid is going to connect pure and force the breaker overhead into Goro. Now, combo breaker. Lao, no Goro, no meter. This is bad for Boki. Okay, another throw. They have just been on point and a punish. Yeah, Spencer teleport. We're going for damage here. Oh, maybe not. Boki. This is a last chance. The good block on the low. Fantastic block on the low. Low overhead jump in. A low poke to force a turn. Fatal blow is in the equation now. No confirm. Escape failed. Kanamani had the game there, just did not hit confirm. Goro just try and stop something from range. Maybe allow low hat or something. Then again, no, there's no break for Kanamani, and there's only 4:40 to go. Oh! Ah! Any hit could do it. There's no Goro. The parry. Yeah, there's no Goro. This has to be all Kung Lao. Ah!
Boki.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Boki! Oh! Kanamani decided enough of this.
I've had enough. And shadow kicks right in the last moment. Can you imagine if Boki blocked that shadow kick? Can you imagine if he did?
But I feel like, genuinely, there are quite a few rounds for Boki in this top 8 where we saw that, where it was kind of just everything Boki was pressing was just connecting. But it wasn't anything substantial. It was just enough to add up, right? It was a lot of the back three, the overhead, the low, just a standing overhead, just down ones, right? Standing 2-1s. Like, you're not really getting massive things from them, but they all connect. And before you know it, your health is just going like down, 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 and then nothing left. So Kalamani found the answer. Found at least a temporary solution in the moment, but advances through in the bracket on the loser side to get at least 4th place today as that 4th place match. Kanamani will await the winner of our next game in losers, which we will be getting ready very soon. We haven't got on stage yet, but we will.
But it will be Axstar versus Foxy Grandpa. As Javier was able to defeat Axstar in the winners bracket, Foxy was able to defeat Gur in the losers bracket, and that's just naturally where they've now landed in our next match, which should be Reiko versus Kitana. But I want to give a huge shout out one final time to Boki for making it as far as he managed to.
Let's go, Boki. He did it.
A Kung Lao legend in Europe, and really just, when it comes to game plan, one of people's favorites. Just a great treat to watch. It's very rare that a player goes into a bracket just that fearless, but also confident to just go with what your heart tells you. And that's what Boki has refined over the years. Kung Lao all the way, 3 games, but Kung Lao...
Прийшов, все попропускав. Що воно там, чим, куди, я хизи. Тільки не кажіть, що я на перерву прийшов. Давайте, чуваки.
Everyone's here. Everyone is here. All the European slash kind of like, you know, this part of the world international players.
Каже, all the European, тут там американець грав. Тільки Європіан. Ну та ні.
You're not literally going to have everyone at every tournament.
We missed you, Rothor. I wish you signed up on time.
Yeah, or like Gotham City Goon as well, right? You know, like players of that caliber who you know wanted to come, but you know couldn't make it.
Відволікають увагу, щось там трапилось, чи батончек, чи що. Та відчепись ти від мене. А, вже все, посідали, будуть грати зараз.
Enough of that. It is time to talk about our next match, which, as you were so correctly, going to be Axstar versus Foxy Grandpa. So France versus UK, a staple in the NetherRealm scene.
А знову Фоксі гратиме.
Foxy Grandpa. Again, bringing back that katana, most likely. I do wonder, because Reiko's striker is quite a strong, longer-range character in its own right, and typically Reiko...
А Рейко заряджений, зараз закидає його сюрикенами.
When Katana has low hat, he has a harder time, but when he's got striker...
Якусь газованку фігачить. Та енергетик, та.
This matchup-wise might be pretty
Red Bull, по-моєму, та, навалює.
I'm having to think about how this matchup could go. Because ultimately...
Цікаво, як вони виводять звук їм в навушники і нам в стрім. Особливо, якщо це PlayStation.
That's a huge one for this.
I think you have a much better time navigating the minefield that is Katana Lao.
However, low hat and the straight fan combined could still maybe mess that up.
А грає досі на Китані.
A throwing stars with a low hat and the sort of vertical fan that she can throw.
Well, I'll be honest,
it's still going to trade better for Foxy in this.
I think
and Reiko's going to have less health too.
Ну точно не на страйкері він буде.
How is Axstar going to navigate around low hat?
Та ні.
It's not just low hat.
І той не на секторі грає, та? Тайрексі.
It's the rest. It's low hat with the rotating.
А може зараз як заграють, а я оце так.
Is that the name of the move that falls down, rotating fan?
That's what I call it.
Yeah, because I don't know the name of it, and I always confuse myself thinking about what
Страйкер.
it has an actual name.
Такий страйкер.
I can't remember what it is. I just call it rotating.
А в того Кунла, бач, змінив. На цьому якби грав на Сайрексі, це щось було б дивне. Починається бій засирання. Проджектайлами просто швирляється, я не можу. Думаю, цей Axstar дивився цей його тактику грання. І тепер просто теж буде засирати його, і буде просто бій. Бій з зонінгу.
Now we will be seeing Axstar go for a lot of these stars.
Підійшов, хап, І зробив греб. А він присів під ними, глянь, як красиво. Взяв і присів під сюрикенами. Щурикени. Пастку зробив йому. А тут не наблокуєшся. Ну, Фоксі впевненіше грає, але... Рейко — це страшний персонаж просто. Як він тікає від нього просто. А, часом перемагає. Чисто тролює.
It's forcing the matchup to be played in this fashion. And that is what the Katana Lao team does. It absolutely...
А під підсиленим, типу, не присідати, тільки блокувати, так. Бо воно зачіпає. А ти не присядеш нічого, не відстрибнеш нічого, не зробиш під підсиленим. Поблокувати. А, прилетів прямо вже. Добре, що брейкер у нього був. Дуже небезпечно грав. Ну, знову ж таки, в Рейко менше здоров'я, і якщо він буде просто туди-сюди від нього тікати таймером, буде гратись там. Може перемогти. З'їв усі щурикени його. Ямка. Цей віяло з'їв цього разу. О, тут греб, треба відстрибувати. А як? Він присів під гребом, так? Можна присісти. І випендрежна комба ще на йому.
And ground version is unblockable mid. Foxy guessed right. That is all there is to that. But again, just to bring us back, this ranged style of play, there's probably some people out there that, you know, are frustrated watching it. It can be frustrating to play.
Мав би дати досвід грання проти цього, проти Рейко. І все. Їх багато було. Підсилений навалив. Ну, в Китані набагато повільніше віяло, ніж його проджектайл. Прям набагато. Найшвидший і найболючіший проджектайл у грі.
She's got their mids to just chip you out a lot, right? You have to be either really on it with the flawless blocks or accept the fact there's only so much chip damage you can take. Flawless block on the EX. A critical part of this matchup, understanding to neutral duck the regular start.
Стрибку зловив його.
That would have been actually quite a disaster.
Хотів зробити греб, так знову так підійшов просто.
Coming in. The good blocks there from the sweep, the back-to-back. Oh, tries to enforce that plus on block backhand. Instant jump. No punish.
Вони не роблять комби, вони просто так. Ну добре, ти в кінці зробив випендрежне комбу Фоксі. Все. Та б'є, ні? Він буде чекати знову таймера. А, все, диви, встигнув до кінця. Прямо чітко таймінг трапив.
Crazy if Axstar went for the grounded one, actually would have caught him on the ground. But that was 100% done to anti-air, right? Why would you do the grounded version in that instance? I know hindsight is 2020, but I can't fault Axstar at all there. That's a big jump kick though, Mustard, and that's a big load of damage to take the lead with. Foxy now advantage from health, looking to continue. We trade, even though all 5 Ninja Stars hit, it really not that bad. for Kitana. No, not particularly, not at the moment. I mean, yeah, 77.50. That is a lot of damage for just a default meterless projectile to do. But again, because it's all highs, and then the second you get
Ну, поки він дуже перемагає цього Акстара просто. Не дає йому вибороти жодного навіть раунду. Це може бути чисто в одні ворота зараз, якщо він не схаменеться, то це в одні ворота. Навіть одного раунду не переміг.
From a damage side, Foxy's still winning the ranged battle, but it's not hopeless. The moment Foxy lands even a single full combo that Axstar cannot match in some way, that life lead is significant enough that he spends the rest of the round trying to catch. Well, I'm going to say it. I think as well.
Зазонив зонера, загребав гребера та переміг чувака, що керує часом, тим, що закінчився час. Ну.
But Kitana has more of a means of hitting it for the chip, right? Because she has the mid ones, the low hat to make you respect. Reiko's combo damage can be high with Striker. Kinda. He's hitting it anywhere between
Буде міняти камео? Що цей чувак? Ні, Страйкер. Так і досі продовжується гра засирання проджектайлами. Ну це серйозно, капець. Оце гра, я розумію. Кидаються проджектайлами.
Oh, and there it is again, the rotating fan. She ducks down, going underneath the high. We've seen that so many times, and Foxy is seeing so much mileage out of it. The sheer existence.
Ти не можеш керувати часом, якщо час закінчився, та.
This was a new move to Kitana with the launch of the game. If she didn't have that, she would struggle a lot more in some of these matches, but the existence of a low profiling projectile is a game changer. Especially in a game with a lot of highs, right? A lot of the projectiles are just high in this game.
Ну диви, вони зараз ідуть прямо так, ніс в ніс з хпшками. Хоч один раунд візьме? Ні. Ні. Ні, Фоксі не дасть йому взяти хоч одного раунду, ні.
Either way, it's going to be match point to Foxy Grandpa, looking to advance 3-0 over Axstar. Remember, winner of this match fights against Kanamani on the loser side. There's a mid. Uh-oh. You're navigating this minefield of Kitana projectiles, then out of nowhere, this mid, one of the most confirmable mids in the game, just appears. And you get clipped. Axstar fighting
Закидує просто шурикенами, але, типу... Майстерно від них, хто присів, то підстрибнув. Стрибати доволі ризиковано, насправді, можна піймати їх всі. Це не Гера, звісно, брейкати, та? Шурикен. Фаталку. А, цьомкать буде. А що, відкрили їм фаталки, та? Чи воно цей, стандартне? Токсичний, токсик, ну.
But Foxy Grandpa advances forward now to fight. To be honest, I think Foxy versus Kanamani should be quite the match. I think so. Kanamani is a very aggressive player. Johnny Cage is a character. I think both Johnny and Raiden can fight Kitana well. So chances are we'll see one of them characters. So
У Джонні немає проджектайлів, але він сам собі проджектайл, та. А чого я кажу шурикени, тому що, типу... Насправді ж там в японській мові немає цього сю, це поліванівка, це кацапи вигадали, типу. Сьогун, насправді шогун. Десь я таке читав, щось було таке, та. Десь був, з філологами потрапив у дискусію. Не Цусіма, а Цушіма. Не Хіросіма, а Хірошима, щось. Ну, щось було таке, та Поліванівка це зло. Можете спитати в ідеї Олександрівни. Як він присів під Fatal Blow. Я б не ризикнув, я як дурник би відстрибував би, ну. Але хоч якось, типу, контрити. Ну, коли з Кайзоном грали, я відстрибував. Це, по-моєму, я від Маркуса навчився на його стрімах чисто. Але присідати — це взагалі топчик. Присів, готовий.
Way more players play hyper-aggressive and in your face than the opposite end, so your access to that style of play is a lot simpler. However,
Маркус грає,
we talked about that match enough because you can clearly see we got two players in front of us ready for winners finals. MK Javier, in my opinion, the best scorer
фінал
in the world
вінерів?
right now, bringing this
Поду.
character to new heights versus Tekken Master, a living legend, the man that single-handedly back in the day put the Middle East on the map with Mortal Kombat.
Скорб Барака. Я хочу, щоб Скорб переміг чисто. Помста за всіх Барак.
And so many years later now, we have so many other players from the Middle East that are amazing. Even here, you know, Faisal, for example, who was many people's pick to make top 8.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Faisal didn't make top 8.
But just didn't manage to, because there's just so many amazing players here that it was an upset, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Tekken Master here to try and take it all the way. We have the newcomer, MK Javier.
Newcomer.
Newcomer to offline. This is his first offline Mortal Kombat tournament. His first big Mortal Kombat event. Tekken Master couldn't be further from the truth for him. This guy's been there, done that all around the world. And it should be a absolute killer of a matchup.
But one thing that I think always separates Tekken Master is the preparation. Is his readiness for just about anything you can throw at him. I feel genuinely, if you haven't really grinded against Javier, you're not really going to be ready.
Javier це на Маркуса схожий, та.
Because it's like, it's hard enough to find a dedicated Scorpion.
О, буде Хавік? Серйозно?
But he is just so
Ні, не буде Хавіка. Буде
It's almost like when you
Барака.
talk about the kind of like Nitara effect. Where the character
Або
can be
Нітара,
played so
кажуть.
differently by a lot of people. But for Javier,
Барака буде,
I
ну.
mean, how ready do you reckon Tekken Master is going to be for Scorpion?
The only time they would have really experienced this is if they just so happened to bump into each other in Combat
Which
League.
probably has
Which
happened.
I do think has happened before. But this is a different ball game. This is a very, very different experience, and an experience that really benefits Tekken Master from an experience standpoint, but Javier has
Що в нього
clearly
там
shown
написано?
by being at Winners Finals that just because this is his first
Та вже пішли
major
грати.
event, he ain't nervous. Or if he is, he hides it well. But there's the
Барака
immediate
страйкер
change.
проти Скорпа
Tekken Master
страйкера
going in
там.
with Baraka straight away looking to score that first blood.
Oh, but the duck on the throw straight away, but no commitment off the mid. So Javier with the right play, but didn't follow through with the highest damage option.
За Скорпа дуже тяжко грати проти Бараки, я думаю.
Going for the EX chop chop just to make sure that grenades don't stop the punish.
А Чоп-Чопа немає, правильно кажуть.
Meter advantage though. Have to be careful. Striker on the way.
Так небезпечно.
Flawless block on that teleport. Either way, Striker coming in now just to make it a bit more safe. A lead for Tekken Master that he can really build from.
Метушня відбувається.
Things like instant air teleport. These little elements that can steal a couple of hits.
О, спіймав, все, пішла комба.
But look at the damage you get for this if it does connect. Of course, we have the Spanish players in attendance cheering on Javier with each hit. You love to see it.
В нього аж нік Маркус Комбат, Хав'єр Маркус Комбат, та. МК. Просто влучив. Бадьорий Барака. Доб'є? А, Маркус Комбат добиває.
Yeah, Tekken Master trying to keep it safe with the grenades behind, but Fatal Blow has that armor, and grenades are
Накрут.
through it.
Покарали накрут. Накруту не буде, все. Барака досі страшний. Просто йому треба це зловити і його підловити на цей гарпун, інакше ніяк. Ох, це ризиково. Оу, це було дуже тупо. Заїхав оце. І отримав покарання. Один раунд всрав. Оце комба пішла вже все. Ага, на броні виїхав. Ага, улюблене ББББ буде. Це воно було, та. Накрут. Сейвиться гранатками.
Keeps a restand situation actually. Early flawless blocks, that's really good for Tekken Master to stay alive. Whiffs the 2-1 and a 2-1 in
Брейкер, і в бараки теж брейкер є, ну. Tekken Master. Та ну, капець, загнали Скорпа, все, срака. І типу Tekken Master поваги трохи менше, ніж цьому Хав'єру. Бо на Скорпі реально тяжко грати. Ну, в нього немає того, що є в бараки. Зонінгу в нього майже немає, крім цього гарпуна, але він повільний. Все в куточку.
As long as you're still alive, that's certainly better than nothing in this kind of encounter, especially with Baraka. This character, we've been talking about characters that party hard the whole time. Baraka Striker parties hard.
Він намагається вичудити. Метушня знову починається, незрозуміло. Туди йому накрутив. Оу, я зрозумів, що він хотів зробити цим. І на броні виїхав. І все.
Yeah, force him to do it earlier that time. Plus frames. Good defense from Tekken Master, he's not biting. EX teleport does a fair amount of jailing. Oh my goodness, jump kick, EX teleport, another jump attack, jails completely. So you've got to show respect to it. However, the big fours looking for it, plus frames now, a back three, a counter poke. It's a matter of time until the down one, down forward two come out. It's a matter of time.
Заборов барака Скорпану. Дуже дивні ракетки були, підловив його своїм проджектайлом, і все в куточку.
So you actually get a lot of mileage from it. And we're seeing Javier, he's getting clipped while blocking the standing force. So I actually wonder if he's trying to flawless block.
Намагався щось там, покарали його гребом. Влітає туди на броні, це вже стандарт. Підловив, невже, не може бути. Нарешті. Навіть на такій невисокій висоті підхопив його двічі. Це смерть. Дуже сумно, але передбачувано, що барака Ну, влетів з телепорту просто в блок. Привіт. Коли-небудь хтось переможе на турнірі за Скорпіона, але це трапиться не сьогодні. Можливо, це тоді, коли МК-13 вийде і там буде норм Скорп. Взагалі було б імбово, якби вони забалансили всіх персонажів адекватно, не те, що зараз є. Не сьогодні і не в цьому МК, та. Що? Метушня знову.
Almost wonder if Tekken Master is just trying to like fake out a
Прилетів телепортом в комбу, бляха. Греби. Хоч один раунд візьми ще, чи що? Ну давай! Ав'єр, ну. Ав'єр, Хав'єр.
How ready for Scorpion Tekken Master is going to be. Clearly the answer is extremely ready. As
Це
ready
кінець.
as I think he needed to be. Because he's
Оу,
looking
це ще не
completely
кінець.
controlled.
Кембек буде, кембек навряд буде, але...
Another flawless block. He's flawless blocks
Що
every single
зловить?
spin off down 3. Every single one. And the dash.
А, все, кінець там.
Finds the blade touch. Tekken
Його там
Master
крапаль була,
almost looks like he
хпшки.
was toying with Javier at the end. And finds the cleanest.
Може ще в третьому інжастісі буде Скорпіон, стривай. А ти задовбав Твіч, дай мені подивитися, як можна це вимкнути.
He stops everything from working. You can tell that Tekken Master must have at some point looked at all of these Javier matches and just picked apart the key details of what are the things that Javier does a lot. Lots of teleports, right? EX teleport.
Та реально забагато телепортів. Він не наїжджав дуже несейвово, але...
Death spin into striker grenade. There are some really key aspects of how he plays this matchup that has worked so well. Tekken Master had an answer for every single But think about it. But what does that leave him with? Javier. I feel like Javier was going through the Scorpion playbook the entire time. You know, like death spin into striker grenade, teleport to try and find something to get some advantage. With punishing with
А які в нього варіанти?
Anything you normally see
Героям
Scorpion
слава.
thrive off. The down 3, they're really looking for those long range pokes.
Але я реально, які в нього варіанти? Ну, типу, засуджують його, що він робив якісь там. Ну, може треба було більше сейвово грати, але по суті в нього ж опцій інших немає. Він не підпалював, о. Але це теж дуже не сейвово, це підпалювати. Теж зонінг такий у Скорпа є, але він надзвичайно повільний. Ну, тут просто... Він хоча б якби був швидкий, то окей, але бляха, ну, капець. Ага, візьміть знижку.
The game itself across all versions, standard or deluxe edition and the platform.
Буде походу зараз перерва. А може не буде.
This is part of the Black Friday sale. You can check it out here and just get hands on. If you want to learn this game, it's a great time to do so. There is DLC on the way. We've just had Omni-Man. We've just had Tremor. We have more DLC to come. I'm very excited for Quan Chi. Cannot wait to put Sector and Quan together. Of course. But it's not just that. You can get your hands on some official merchandise. Go to wbshop.com. Get your hands on whatever tickles your fancy, really. You can find it all over there on the website. Have a look. Maybe you'll find something you like. Pick it up.
Ні, не треба,
Thank you
дякую.
so much for joining us so far. We are going to go for another break. Set up our final stretch of matches. The highest caliber.
Ідуть на перерву, ніка? Типу, дуже дивно. Може, якщо зараз прямо підуть? Так, йдуть на перерву, задовбали. You have destroyed world. I have... Що-то там... Весь таймлайн. Ой вей. Цікаво, скільки буде перерва. Я собі фоном ось відкрию його. Як зручно мати ще один комп під рукою. А що там лишилося трошки, якщо це був? Tekken Master вийшов у Вінери, та? Правильно я розумію? Барака проти Кітани буде виходить, та? І треба подивитися, як вони будуть грати. FT3 чи FT5 в сенсі. Цікаво. Зараз в Фоксі проти Канімані фінал лузерів. Ага, ще треба Фоксі, щоб вийшов. Пішли, я програю швиденько. А тоді буде Текенмайстром. Ну, я думаю, цей Фоксі з Канімані. А хто його знає? Я собі так думаю, що Фоксі переможе і буде грати потім з Текенмайстром. І я думаю, Фоксі візьме. Бо якщо Барака переможе на турнірі, ну це буде кринж, ну це взагалі капець. Що мені чемпіонів кидають? Мене Варіор, мені чемпіона дали. Стоп, ні. Чувак на люкані грає, або просто не. Та, на люкані. Чувак на люкані. Добрий вечір, чувак на люкані. Розстрибався. Ага. А! І що я роблю? Я забув, як грати, все. Брейкнув мене нарешті. Блокую. Ага, наблокував. Хвилина перерви. Наче б демеджив. Ну добре, це просто чувак на цей, вони комбив мені. Хав'єр рішатиме, хто до Текенмастера піде? Лівнув? Ні. Так. А в сенсі. А, Хав'єр же пішов в лузери, та? Ага, я зрозумів, типу, той спускається в лузери, а той піднімається, складно все. Присів. Ага, зрос. О, щось грати починає, але не вийде. Там же починають, та? Зараз я цей дограю. Хоч один треба виграти цей. Там повтори крутять поки. О, я щас ще програю. Чувак пішов в комбу. Лежи, Найнс зараз стане. А, власне, що я сподівався. Блокую! А, я не блокую, все, мені дупа. Не добиває мене все одно. А, та все, капець. Ну він, типу, теж щось вміє грати, не просто ото так прийшов. Ля, я йому ще й програв. Ні, чувак, до побачення. Роби свої фаталки кому завгодно, я пішов дивитись, що там чуваки розповідають.
I mean, we're looking at our next matchup, which should be to get into losers finals. So Foxy Grandpa and Kanamani are about to go head to head. Whoever wins this matchup will then face off against MK Javier in the losers final. And that will, of course, decide our final.
Це цікаво, та, якщо ще вийде цей.
I genuinely believe that Tekken Master is now like the player to beat. Now, I know that sounds obvious, but I just mean in terms of how prepared he has looked.
Але якщо Хав'єр вийде знову до цього, до Tekken майстра і програє йому, це такий тупняк буде, просто я не можу.
I think all the four players we've got left are looking good, but the question is,
буде Кейдж, Кунлао.
Зараз
ще Кейдж переможе, та? Фоксі тоді повернеться до цього. Коротше, побачимо. Фоксі вилетить тоді, якщо зараз програє.
The slight difference here will be in the matchup. A big thing is that I think a lot of players unanimously agree that Johnny Cage has like a slight advantage over Katana. But I feel like at this level, it doesn't mean a huge amount. Because when you're playing at the highest level, you're going to know these matchups. And it just comes down to how dry Foxy can keep.
Що вони їх сюди пересунули, ці підписки, вони мені не подобаються. І нікнейми і рахунок.
So there's the immediate, I'm going to get in, low hat.
Буде весело, якщо Джонні переможе.
Young man reactions, as they call it.
Буде сумно.
Oh, all right. Just dash in and throw. That's how we're doing it. That's how we're starting this round. But there's going to be a low hat. And there it is.
Куточок загнав. Дуже не... вилівтів. Професійно. Ну, Кейдж у куточку це щось страшне. Я вже казав це неодноразово.
Down one. A little bit more. Waits for the inevitable low poke. Johnny Cage is down one. Is the fastest in the game, so you have to show it a lot of respect. Low hat. And that is going to be the first round here. Very...
Забрав Фоксі, та перший раунд. Я відволікся.
I do wonder if Kanamani's going to start kind of trying to squeeze out a few attacks. Some reaction shadow kicks a little bit more. Not sure if that was intentional.
Фоксі доволі впевнено грає. Не дає Канімані розкрити Кейджа. Як розкриє Кейджа, все капець. Але в Кейджа немає ж цих проджектайлів, тому хай йде собі. Він сам собі проджектайл, та? Це відомий жарт. Впевнена перемога Фоксі.
You're going to be without it for quite some time because you just lose that fast cooldown. It is one very unfortunate input mistake to have, and I'm very, to be honest, it definitely looked like that.
Піч знову до мене чіпляється.
Unfortunate for sure. Well, the question is, how does Kanamani fight back against this? Because obviously, you know, caught trying to whiff a button, trying to press. That's where the mids just blow you up. Foxy's going to take a favorable trade there.
Все в куточку. Ля, вилетів.
Try to definitely punish that, I think.
Нема як це. Вилітає з куточків дуже професійно.
Very uncomfortable. Kanamani does not look comfortable in this matchup.
Що ж йому буде комфортно, засирають його в'єлом. Фаталблоу є у обох. Забрав раунд. Не впевнено, але забрав.
Again, it's always a question of how long can you keep Katana in the corner, though, even if you have her here. So only a matter of time before they're going to look for that square wave out. Foxy again. Always been prone to go for, like, if that forward throw is, quote-unquote, the wrong direction, right? Normally the throws in that instance will be trying to throw you towards
Grandpa. I'm doing grandpa.
So he's very okay with that. Also, big down two there. That was an MK11 down 2 if
Oh
I
my
ever
goodness,
saw
the
one.
combo from that.
That was really cheeky.
Really
Oh,
chicken,
that
ну.
was 100% intentional because that was trying to make the parry a bit safer on recovery.
Капелюхи,
Parry
бляха.
into Lao teleport into the best jump kick in the game is disgusting. And the dash underneath. Foxy used to do that all the time in MK11 at Nightwolf Tech.
Влучить?
Not gonna work.
Ха-ха,
Yeah,
перебив.
gonna lose. I'm actually surprised that didn't combo, actually. You probably have to hold it just a little bit.
Shadow
that
кіком.
shadow kick again. Kanamani has been consistently
Нервує, намагається цими фаталбловами щось зробити.
Another parry.
Still going for it. Kanamani will not be deterred from these parry attempts.
Добили
And there's the
його.
rotating fan to cover the jump. I will say it didn't work out for
Знизу
Kanamani, but
капелюх, згори фен.
Very insistent on going for the parry reach.
Мається на увазі віяло.
Information to send your opponent. Like, I'm gonna do it. That's a full combo. Almost coast to coast. 2/3. There's that low. Foxy clipped by it, maybe expecting a stagger perhaps. Either way, the throw counter. Creating a bit of space, but this is Cage and Lau we're talking about. It's only a matter of time until he closes that distance himself. Advancing mid. That mid has just been such a wonderful tool. Drops the combo.
Not a drop, but never mind. Manages to stop
Хтось
it.
розслабився, Фоксі, і відлетів. 1-1, це буде жорстоко там.
That drop could have been a disaster, but
Це буде
instantly
боротьба.
And Kanamani looking good still. A much better game that time, to be sure.
На Кітані тяжко буде проти Кейджа.
Able to just cement himself a little bit more, make the most out of the up-close pressure. That's 2 games in a row. Foxy has stolen the first hit bonus away with a fan before the low hat can do it, and the parry has been such a
Пішла комба.
constant answer for so many of this all tournament long. Another throw, keeping it less likely. So many players would try and throw you into the corner there. It's almost a free tech. Another one. The parry is just never ending.
Never
But
ending.
again, it's just that raw confidence to know you are going to press here and I'm going to punish you for it. Because remember, if you're correct, your reward is basically a full combo on most buttons. Punish.
Ой-ой.
Shadow kick's going to give you that. Another free way in. The charged low hat. Rush down city. Whiffs to down 2. Foxy. The parry has just put the fear.
Перестав робити пастки, до речі. Зверніть увагу, немає, боїться пастки робити. Не проти Кейджа точно.
That's why Foxy just wanted to take the opportunity just to reset instead. Build some space, work with that.
Can't get hit though. Anything into a confirm. The delayed low.
Куточок.
You have to worry about the teleport on top of that.
Ух, ризиковано, це смерть.
The big read, all that defense thrown out of the window.
I think that was the first time we've seen Foxy go for a reversal armor.
Ризикнув. І воно того не варто було.
Alright, so much patience being shown.
It's because the parry has put the absolute respect. 2-1-2. There's the up block. Foxy finds an opening and a full combo here. Respectable damage.
Пастку хотів зробити, згадав за пастки, краще б не згадував. Доконектить і смерть, так.
No, Foxy knows he'll live. He knows he'll survive this touch. Saving the break for what follows.
Може і не
What
смерть.
follows could be something as simple as a shadow kick. So Foxy might not actually have a chance to use them.
Крабалька лишиться. Ні, смерть, смерть.
Actually
Все.
did it. 550? Excuse me? Alright, I'll hold my hands up. Not for a million years.
1-2. Зараз ще вилетить Фоксі, коротше, і все. І буде Кейдж проти Бараки, так?
I
Клас.
don't think he got cameo hit, did he? I'm pretty sure I could see.
I'm fairly sure he could have.
I'm pretty sure Kung Lao was available.
Either way, that's a lot of damage. My goodness. 550. That does put Kanamani in the lead in the set now.
А ні, з Гав'єром же,
2
з
to
Скорпом.
1. Remember, winner of this goes to losers finals to fight MK Javier. No doubt the Scorpion lies in wait. Tekken Master. Man, what a coach.
And this could be Foxy's last chance here. It was a really convincing first game, but after that point, it's been all Kanamani. Because it's been more about the up close. Very, very, very much so. It's been less about not being able to get in, because you're going to get in.
Johnny Cage cannot be zoned out, especially if you're playing Johnny Lau. Like, it's just a matter of time of when he gets in. Especially in the hands of someone like Kanamani.
Reactions again.
Я думав, змінить персонажа Фоксі, але це пан його прочитав і все, і погнав. А вони вдвох пани, пан Фоксі і пан Канімані.
Having whiffed that up block, gave Kanamani no time to do shadow kick, so that one's free, the rest won't be. Takes the favorable trade once again, but again, the low hat and neutral is just, as long as there's meter, you're going to get hit by a shadow kick. Another parry. Waits, tries to go for a launch, but no punish from Kanamani either. Could have been worse. Plus frames. A little bit of patience there from Kanamani. It's a matter of time, delayed throw, another one. But again, Johnny Cage, a low hat and a dream. The combo.
Shadow кіком все.
And made the hard call.
Ні, ще не все, ще не кінець.
But you have to be careful.
А, прилетів. Прилетів Shadow кіком то.
Being reacted to every time, Foxy has got to stop. But the problem is, if you don't throw low hat, Johnny Cage is just going to walk his way in instead at no cost. As we were saying before, Johnny Cage is definitely a character that can fight Kitana, right? Especially if you've got that Lao. But it's just that shadow kick, it's so fast, the EX version armored. If you have the reactions, you have the meter management. Takes those really plus frames into a launching mid, thanks to the nice little hit confirm there from Kanamani. And this is looking like the last sequence for Foxy. The delay, the walk up. I mean, to take that throw there is a scary game to play. And it's looking like Kanamani's going to move all the way through. There's a hit confirmed.
Переміг, все, Фоксі відправив у відстійку.
Kanamani taking it, moving on now to fight MK Javier in the losers fight.
І пішов грати з Маркусом.
Kanamani, as we were hoping to see in this top 8. You know, we have to remember, even though he isn't
Фоксі вилетів,
in the
бувай.
offline tournament realm,
Так файно тримався, я вже думав, що він цей турнір переможе. Тут головне, аби не Tekken Master переміг на бараці, бо це бля. Ну, в принципі, було очікувано, що він його заколупає. Але я сподівався, що Фоксі вирве перемогу, але ні.
He is still seen by quite a few to be a favorite to win the entire tournament, despite not having that offline pedigree, because of the sheer level of success he's found in the online realm. And now, of course, taking out a player like Foxy Grandpa, that is quite the name to add to your tournament resume. And Kanamani now moving to minimum third place, where losers finals MK Javier awaits. Now, I've got to say it, not to be, you know, kind of bringing the mood down or anything, but Tekken Master awaits in grand finals. Both the players in losers finals currently are players who have been looking absolutely unstoppable in this tournament until they fought Tekken Master. And that's both the same for MK Javier and Kanamani. They both were looking fantastic. They fought
Давайте без перерви, окей? Мене вже Twitch там щось.
You know, for both of them.
Вони якісь опитування запускають.
They're definitely going to want to get that rematch against Tekken Master, but you've got to wonder, if you're Tekken Master and you're watching in this crowd, you're probably feeling pretty good right now. Tekken Master's going to be confident. There's no two ways about it. Decisively defeating both of the players on stage right now. However, always a chance that that next gear shift could activate, but they don't have a lot of time to do that. And they don't even have time to consider that, because right now they've got to focus on this match right here. This is to get into grand finals, a considerable amount of change, you know, the financial side of it, you know, between third and second. Second, it's going to be more than third. That's just the way it is. We have to remember. And then the points as well. Yeah, this is a pro competition event. And, you know, for those of you watching that might not be aware, that is the MK Pro League, pretty much. It is the World Tour, as they say, where there's a leaderboard of...
Сітку, до речі, не показують. Треба десь її глянути окремо.
As you place in the higher end of things, you win points. And the highest point-earning players are invited to the World Finals later in the season, where we then obviously crown a champion. So prize money on the line, is there is a prize pot given to all the pro competition events so far. But again, if you're talking early season, it is those points that these players are wanting to obtain. Especially the players who know they're going to enter the online events. They maybe will be able to go to Combo Breaker later in the year, perhaps the Latin America tournament when we eventually find out what that is. Any points you can get now will only serve to make your job a lot easier as you move through closer towards that final combat. Well, we're just closing up our button checks here. very soon we'll be jumping into this losers finals. I'd like to thank everyone that's tuned in. Thank you for sticking around. Hopefully you have enjoyed the show so far. Has been quite the story. You know, we have two new players, and certainly not new to Mortal Kombat, but new to this environment, and the veteran lying in wait in grand finals. You know, ultimately, is it going to be the new blood or the seasoned veteran? It's a story as old as time in competitive games, isn't it?
Я причому і сам кидав Маркуса.
I think there's a reason we're talking about
Зараз побачимо все своїми очима.
I feel like half the bracket is like first-time players. Genuinely, there's so many online EU players that made the trip out to UFA. They wanted to get their first opportunity to compete in a serious tournament.
У мене ж є інший, поки що я за нього забув, ну.
And, you know, it's a new game. MK1 is still only a couple of months old, which means plenty of time for players to discover their kind of competitive drive and desire to play in tournaments and do exactly that. And we've seen it so much here at UFA, here in France. And I've got to say, shout out to UFA, all the staff that have been running the brackets, keeping things good, of course, the production crew, keeping a good show to watch, and of course, all you lovely folks at home for watching. And I hope you're in yourselves, as this has been a really good top 8 so far, and a great demonstration of what International Mortal Kombat 1 is currently looking like. Even though we're only a few months in, I'm definitely feeling good about how the community is just
починають грати, добре, потім гляну.
But here we go. We have started the losers finals, and the question is,
Ну тут, я думаю, Кейдж Скорпіона розбере, хоча хто його знає, Ну поки розбирає, забули ці дати, нікнейми з рахунком, нема.
You know at this point who's who. Kanamani's Johnny Cage, Javier's Scorpion. It would be shocking if it was the other way around. I'm really not sure how the players are undoing the lower health pass. I don't know how they're managing that. Regardless, the important thing is, losers finals begins. Javier off to a pretty decent start here. Ooh, letting the 2-1-4 roll.
Поки я казав, якимось чином у Кейджа кудись ділась хпшка просто. Нема, все, Скорпіон зараз розвалить. Ну ж він зараз пристосується, він до цього теж довго пристосовувався. Та все в куточку. Засейвився.
And now here comes Striker for another time. It's going to miss, actually. Javier.
Полюбляє він накрути страйкером.
The counter poke of the armor. All right, Striker grenades.
О, підпалив нарешті. Я думаю, він не буде палити сьогодні, ну.
Cheeky little bit of extra damage right now, but a significant comeback required. The question is, how do you obtain it? The 2-1.
Але в нього тепер немає хпшки. Бере гребом. Ай, нейцеловий телепорт, але ніяк не карає його в Канімані.
Still just went into the low hat, but Javier finds the standing 2-1, doesn't confirm, but doesn't matter. As Javier finds a throw, and that's going to be a game number 1 already on the board. Chose not to confirm, it looked like to me, because Kanamani had breaker, and a throw would do it. I think Javier let the 2-1 go, and was happy to just take the plus frames, and enforce that strike-throw mix-up.
Хав'єр щось там витворяє, не?
Give Javier that first match. The Scorpion off to a good start here.
Знову ж таки, може ще пристосується.
Як
мінімум 2 бої. Куточку все. Капець. Порвав його, греб. А, зловив зараз фул комбаля.
It's definitely not a terrible button to throw out on Wake Up, especially if your opponent's not point blank. As Javier gets a nice amount of damage on the table. Good block on the low EX now. That's definitely.
Скажіть, що скоро буде в гранд-фіналі. Ні, якщо буде, я офігію. Якщо він переможе на Скорпі, це буде щось дуже дивне. Спіймав! Все, смерть. Це був камбек. Ти бачив, скільки в нього хпшки було?
I have my spear. It's a long rope, you see. Hit confirmed. There's the 1-2 pickup. We're going to get one launch. Oh, we're going to extend it even further.
Телепортнувся ненцейвово.
That's a lot of damage on level and a punish you did not
Lot
have
of
to deal
damage,
with.
та це просто покарали його за цей ансейвовий телепорт. Тепер в куточку буде їсти, з'їдати всі оці. Брейкнув.
Confident there might still be a chance to win this round, but it is scary. Defensive striker isn't going to work out though. We're simply going to trade it, and with no other options, that was such a good read. You're going to go for it, and I'm going to crouch.
I think that was the first time we've seen that launch ducked underneath. You have to remember that forward 3 launch.
Як він любить ці накрути з гранатами, це просто щось з чимось. Але це спрацювало, бо
Kanamani's been doing that quite a few times this top 8 actually, just a raw uppercut.
відпустив Канімані був блок в кінці.
Striker is on the cards, of course. Another break from Javier. Not what he wanted to break that low hat, but I think if
Та нема як, нема чим, все.
Still back to the wall he is.
Ха, ризикнув на хайпі і його за це покарали, але не комбою, тому все ще небезпечно. От зараз буде комба, все, поїхали.
No resources for Bar, but Striker is there.
There's one striker ready.
Нам все, йому дупа.
Dash in mid.
Смерть все.
Wake up forward dash. Absolute fearlessness from Kanamani.
Канімані пристосовується, що переможе цей турнір на Кейджі. О, Кейдж — це страшний персонаж просто.
Knockdown advantage. Javier used that time to build so much space, like 3 backdashes, and Kanamani just woke up with 3 forward dashes. It's a button. That was a hard call out, and it paid off.
Ну та, тяжко на Скорпі. Там одна кніпка, там 2, 3, 4. Доволі цікаво, телепортнувся і зробив греб. Я теж таке люблю. Тільки не на Скорпі, та на Рейдені, але та й таке. Телепорти і греби — це наше все просто. Просто все.
Down 3 is going to totally whiff. That's just going to be advantage Johnny Cage because he's going to be able to work his way back in. Neutral duck making a hard call out, but one just going to pay off because now, again, full combo. Trying to do something risky on wake up. Maybe even try to jump out. I mean, in that situation, every time Javier's doing well, we have neutral to play with. Cage puts you in the corner. It's a nightmare. No matter what your character is, Cage puts you in the corner.
Намагався вийти на комбу, чомусь просто отак відразу.
There it is again. Individual advancing button here. The grabs just to add a layer to it, just to make things even worse. Defensive striker is going to result in a full combo, but Javier
Шов на комбу.
quite low in the resource department. That's punishable. Ooh.
Летить капелюх, перестрибнув.
Looking for it. Again, though, that's a hit.
Та пішла комба.
Advancing mid.
І в куточку, та йому дупа. Дупа в куточку. Греб, греб, греб.
I mean, Javier can win anything into fatal blow kills now, but Kanamani will know that. Oh, armor break. It's rare that you
Підсилений цей збив гранатами, це щось прикольне. Перетерпить, зараз помре, та зачіп-демеджить його. Та. Далі матчпоінт. Канімані перемагає і йде далі. Якщо в наступному бої забере 2 раунди, там. І все. Смерть.
When Kanamani played against Tekken Master and Winterside earlier on, Kanamani looked noticeably flustered. That's the only way for it. Now, if Kanamani can get that run back and keep cool and stay calm, we might be seeing a very different match, especially if Kanamani is playing like this. My goodness.
Проти Скорпа, звісно. Play like this.
There's been some pretty delicious whiff punishes. Didn't want to commit though to that mid. And Javier wanted to keep things a little bit safer. Forward 3 into the overhead.
Шла комба фулова.
Так,
буде.
Full combo time for Scorpion.
Буде.
Keeping it meatless. Striker is ready. Not bad damage at all. There's a confirm. That's gonna hurt.
Тік і пішов в комбу.
What?
Але був брейкер. Був брейкер.
I mean, if you cancel it, you still have it.
Speaking of cancel, Kanamani cancelling into the EX shadow kick to make
Ще
sure
один
that
матчпоінт.
stays good damage. And now match point against MK Javier. You can tell that Kanamani wants that run back. Didn't get the combo from the nut punch.
Це дуже впевнено пішла комба через гайп, і це смерть. Камбек все ще можливий, але дуже.
Did not believe it would work, but really, I mean, the odds are stacked in the favor of Kanamani. That Johnny Cage, Kung Lao low hat.
Ризикнув, увімкнув гайп. І пішов далі, а Маркус вилетів там. Хав'єр, все буває. Не буде Скорпа в фіналі. Він був у фіналі, не був в гранд-фіналі.
You know that he's been looking for that. You know that Kanamani has been, ever since that first loss against Tekken Master, has just wanted nothing more than to get it back and go for that round 2, which we are about to see very soon, as that's now our last match left in this top 8.
Серйозно, буде перерва?
Finals
Ви
is
задовбали.
locked in. Tekken Master, winner's side. Kanamani, loser's side.
Давайте
And
без
for one
перерви,
final
чуваки.
time today, we must repeat the point and beat broken records. The young, new prodigy versus the experienced veteran. Can you get a better story to finish off this?
Гра лайно. Плюсую.
I tell you what, one fantastic story has been the story of
Ну що
Javier.
Скорпіон
He
міг
has fallen
зробити?
short here now. Third place is the finish, but taking Scorpion of all
О, Стев.
characters and moving into the top 3
Реплей
of a
покажуть.
stacked pro competition, major event. That is something that Javier can be proud of. Let alone the fact that this is his first entry into major.
Ні, якби
offline
чувак
or
виграв на
Kombat. So
Скорпі,
congratulations
це
to
було
you,
б
Javier.
дуже-дуже
It was
прикольно.
wonderful seeing you. We thank you for coming, and we appreciate the fact that you took a character like Scorpion of all things and took it almost all the way.
No, super impressive.
Він
There's
далеко
no
на
doubt
Скорпі
about it. I
зайшов?
would say Javier's probably been like my favorite like standout player to watch for the entirety of this tournament. Because again, it's such a story, right? That Scorpion loyalty paying off in droves. Of course, third place, but not bad at all for a performance like that. But of course, that now leaves us with one final match. Of course, we are ketchup and mustard, and we are going to be finishing off today as we have one match to go at UFA, this pro competition offline.
Будуть іти на
major.
перерву,
It is
походу,
so
бо так
good to be
заганяють
back.
за
Of course,
цей,
we've got the
затягують.
crowd here behind us as well. We are in Paris, France, and we have been playing fighting games all weekend long. But for Mortal Kombat, it comes down to this final match, where we find out who's going to get the lion's share of those points and the prize
Давайте
money.
ви чи що?
I'll
Без
be
перерви.
honest, if I was forced to choose, I'm going to choose Tekken Master. I think Tekken Master, he's got the experience, he's got the.
Та не треба нам цей
consistency,
Tekken Master
that's
на
the main
бараки.
thing that
Ну,
really
майте
separates him
совість.
from
Та
a
барака
lot of
це повна
competitive
срака,
players. If he is in
чуваки.
attendance, you know he is one to watch. He is probably getting top 8 minimum, dare I say top 4 minimum. You know, he is one
Хай вже
of
Канімані
the
тоді перемагає,
strongest
чи що?
players in the community. And I believe we're about to get his entrance to the stage right about now.
Tekken Master is one of the players to watch and has been for years. And
Обидва
years
бісять.
and years. I'm just so excited to see whether we can actually bring it all the way. He was by
А, ні, не буде перерви, ось вони йдуть.
Looking at this top 8, you look at the level of play and you look at, as you said, the consistency. Tekken Master is consistent.
Насер. Насер.
Is Baraka, of all characters in this top 8, is Baraka going to win?
But again, we talk about it. It's not. Okay, so Baraka was nerfed in the patch, right? But Baraka was super good before. But the only real change he got was damage scaling. Obviously, synergy with Cyrax took quite the hit, you know, for the traditional way you were playing. Now, if you still play Baraka Cyrax, it's, you know, I mean, I still play him. I do like a lot of self-destruct, but you're not playing him the same way, right? He took the character,
Виходять понтово так.
and still making it work. Kanamani, on the other hand, we're looking at whatever character he thinks will get the job done. Whether it's going to be Johnny Cage with various cameos, mainly Lau, I think, and then of course that
Panther
Raiden
keys.
with the Kano. This is what it boils down to. And remember, Kanamani, again, I know we're repeating ourselves a lot, a very young player and inexperienced in the offline space. This is his first ever offline major appearance and second place minimum, grand finals, waiting to face off against Tekken Master. That is quite the debut.
Котлети
I am
по-кіберськи.
expecting the Johnny Cage to come out this time, because when Kanamani last fought Tekken Master earlier today, it was Raiden. And the Raiden.
От тепер засікайте, як вони будуть грати. FT3 чи FT5?
The big one was that Tekken Master was just so comfortable in that matchup. Has run hundreds of matches, not only against it, but in the mirror. You know, all kinds of different things.
But that's
Plays
one
the
thing.
character
Yeah,
himself.
Tekken Master is his preparation, his preparedness to just be ready for everything you can throw at him. And if you're throwing at him a top tier thing, you know he's done the homework, you know he's labbed it, and you know he's ran that match many a time. But of course, he himself been playing the Baraka striker almost exclusively, I think, in today's top 8. I think, in fact, yeah, I think we've only seen the Baraka striker.
Tekken
But again, like I was
Майстер
saying
переміг
before,
в
Baraka
турнірі
got
МК.
nerfed,
Це звучить
but
уже
if you
крінжово,
like the
бляха.
style of just a lot of commitment on block
Чисто
into making stuff safe,
якась
you know, helping you kind of plow your way in,
Насмішка над МК.
But the striker grenades are mid explosions, which really helps for the ability to get combos on hit if they go for a trade, or just kind of covering yourself.
Погляд мейнера Бараки просто.
He's not kind of just doing whatever. He's playing a very fundamental game with Baraka, taking risks when appropriate and covering those risks with cameos all the time. And Striker is that cameo. It lets him play the way he is. So even though Baraka, worse than before, yes.
Привіт.
Unviable now? Definitely not. Especially when you're playing him with the right cameo. And in this patch, Striker with Baraka is that cameo.
Я думав, він на мишці зараз. Він так тримав цей джойстик і на ньому там щось. Камери Sony, до речі. Роздивився під кінець. Привіт, Гоморі.
Basically, long story short, if Tekken Master wins this 3 out of 5, he wins the tournament.
Барака проти Кейджа.
Wins this 3 out of 5 we're about to see, he will essentially send Tekken Master to losers bracket, and we have one final set. So Kanamani has double.
Одна з ігор року на хвилинку.
Tekken Master still has that lifeline. But that's it, it's a lifeline, right? Kanamani lost earlier, so he's got to put Tekken Master.
Ну та, найкраща монетизація року. Найкраща гра, де ти пасеш задніх, та? То в Стімі була номінація. Канімані проти Текен Майстера. Та якщо виграє Текен Майстер, це буде... Ну реально, чувак з нікнеймом Текен Майстер перемагає турнір МК, це таке щось.
I'm looking at the intros on my cheaty monitor. We are getting our first match of Grand Finals underway. As we've said many times, the new blood versus the seasoned
Вон, поїхали, все, Барака взяв ініціативу.
And Kanamani with the Johnny Cage and Kung Lao. Tekken Master starting off strong, but instantly a full combo for Kanamani. Now this is Grand Finals. This is the last match of the tournament. It has all come down.
Коротше, я вболіваю за Канімані. Лао, коли вже його поріжуть? Колись. Рейкнув, ну.
Already, this Johnny Cage is just looking more comfortable, and the back three string escaping the wrath, but the wrath of back three of Johnny Cage is still there.
Я про камеру, та я зрозумів.
Round could go in the favor of Johnny Cage. Beautiful throw tech there from Kanamani. The quick rise doesn't want to extend for Striker.
Ну реально, це нижнє його, це страшне. Тут є скін Ван Дамма на Джоні. Та, я знаю. Тут є Нітара Меган Фокс, та.
Punish on the back 1-2, right? There are a few things that you're kind of used to just staying -7 at. And even though it's only a down 1, it gives you enough advantage for Johnny to really
Пішов по хайпу, все.
And Kanamani's going to be aware of that. There it is.
А ним немає як відкрити.
Tekken Master has to know. The whiff punish though. We're going into that Baraka
Та камон.
Big damage going in. Striker covering with the grenade. Safe jump enforced. Oh!
Ще тут є Сіменс. Omni-Man.
Kanamani forces that turn back at the cost of 2 bars.
Тік.
And there's another dash, but the back 3 string does keep Tekken Master safe. Now I say, you can see the difference in comfort from Kanamani with this Johnny Cage. You can just tell, this is the character the majority of the time has come from. Really good in a lot of these matchups. Just
Не ризикує так тихенько.
brave defensive options. The parries out of
Аби не
nowhere.
перетерпів, зачіп демеджить.
Tekken Master still in this round. There's a reactionary block on the overhead.
Нервує чи що? Для чого?
No, it does not.
Це було дуже тупо і ризиковано.
The perfect range to punish the dash.
Напевно, нервує. Чисто перенервував. А, була, не була, давай. Кун Лао на підмозі топ. Ну, його треба трохи піднерфити насправді. На що розраховує Tekken Master для Бараки, це матчап 2-8 чи 3-7.
A really good choice, the grenades, and there's the parry. Letting it go, tries to stay safe, but that chase down of Johnny Cage. Far too Kanamani tried that before, but didn't.
Так, зараз цей Канімані збереться. Гребом його. Зараз перевіримо. Ні, якщо Барака перемагає турнір, то можна просто видаляти гру, до побачення. Ні, ну якщо Джонні, то таке, хизи. Барака це просто якась срака.
Already spent with punish with the grenades. That's not good for Kanamani. Because even chip damage here could be dangerous. Tekken Master just looking for chip and the whiff punish. Tekken Master
Забирає цей
playing
бій.
it as safe as possible at the very end there, knowing all he needed was to slowly chip away at that last little bit of health. Doing all these options covered by that striker grenade. Perfect use of the cameo. Game 2 now. Tekken Master. Remember, so you got to win the first.
Ну та, Барака мазафака.
A good punish.
Нічого не
Actually gave the
скажеш.
first hit for Kanamani as well.
Але і Канімані он сейвами інколи лупить. Ну, просто влупив Fatal Blow. Куди? Нащо? Ну, зараз впевнено йде. Більш-менш. Ну поки ще. Покусав все. Срака-барака, теж непогана рима. Срака Арасака, мені більше подобається, це з кіберпанку. Пері. Я знаю, що Пері, але типу... Ну це дуже небезпечно. Барака може туди проджектайла фігнути, ну відійти може тупо і все. Можна відміняти, але в нього не вийшло. Так, Tekken Master забирає все. Ну та я розумію, я теж таке люблю, але я ж не кіберкотлета, і це не професійно виглядає. Ну була не була, Fatal Blow.
That down 4 has been quite the important button in not only this matchup, but the entirety of the top 8.
Це в куточок загнав, тут має навалити.
But if your back's to the wall, it's kind of safe to do wake-ups, because Striker will throw those grenades at a range that you can't really hit Striker out of them, because he stands off-screen when he does it.
Заганяє в куточок.
Now this is what he wants. Have that life lead, force Bracket
Ні,
to come in.
не заганяє.
Jump in, instant down 4.
Again, yeah, took the that was a punish down -7.
Законектить, законектить. Це не смерть, так. Не доб'є. Назад вперед нолік Джонні, ну. Підказка, он диви, бач, підказав.
An absolute nightmare if it gets blocked. Lets the back 3 go. The dashing grab! Tekken Master gets another game.
Вбив,
2-0
все.
on Kanamani. One more for both Tekken Master
Це
and
капець.
Baraka to win this latest.
Тут Канімані взагалі не той його сьогодні. Не проти Бараки, не цей його. Проти Tekken Майстра, ну.
Every time he makes his way in or does something dangerous, Striker is covering it. Oh, that one didn't work. Oh, that one did though. But always ready. Oh,
Якщо вони грають FT3, то це матчпоінт.
A good start here for Kanamani. A little bit shaky here for Tekken Master. Uncharacteristic. Normally pretty on it with those combos, especially Barakas. There is the Eternal, the back one. You want to press something? Back one. EX down forward 2, mate. Give it to me. All right, there we go. So much of it, and the Striker on the end.
Keeping it gapless, going for the stab instead. Tekken Master really not wanting to give Kanamani anywhere to squeeze out a way back into this set. And again, just slowly but surely, always has the life lead. There's a crucial escape, though.
Намагався засейвитись капелюхом, але...
But that breaker, always a problem. I don't know about this.
Знову цей Fatal Blow. А реально FT3 грають. Ну я ж кажу, матчпоінт. 2 перемоги і третя це... Та я зрозумів, типу, я в курсі. Якщо зараз FT3, то це матчпоінт, та... У друга ця і все. Якщо зараз перемагає Барака, все, кінець. Тедпоінт.
Oh, rare footage of Lohat actually getting punished.
That's what I was going to say. I cannot stress enough how tight that reaction has to be.
Ці
to
фатал
punish
блови
Lohat.
просто.
That was instant from Tekken Master.
Goes in for another safe jump, dash and throw. A game-changing tech. Striker getting hit by a down one. And there, Striker is hit. You can't break. Kanamani is still alive.
Okay, let's not get too ahead of
1-1?
ourselves. Kanamani stays alive.
That's our Carton in the background was like, oh, Striker, no. I saw him leave. Baraka, you can't break this.
Oh! Still comboed.
All right.
Маркус Комбат грав на Скорпіоні і програв.
360 because Striker hit a grenade. That's not good news if you're in Kanamani's shoes. Almost building up a full breaker, letting it go, gapless, safe. This one to confirm, and you have to break this. Last chance for Kanamani. Oh!
Здоров'я, плак, мало.
Strike is there, do we spend? No, we hold it. Tekken Master wanting to play as safe as possible, perhaps, or at least have the opportunity, and he finds it. Tekken Master.
Та вони FT3 рубали.
Grand champion for Mortal Kombat 1 here at
А, крінжа, вони реально FT3 грали.
With Baraka. Baraka lives. That is the story
Срака.
being told. The striker pairing working so well the whole time.
Обіймашки трошки були там.
But of course we got to give shout outs to Kanamani for an unbelievable second place. And for an offline major debut, that is one hell of a statement to make.
Навалив.
The man of the hour, the
Ото в них
champion of UFA,
кубок не UEFA.
a legacy that started in MKX is continuing
FT3 в гранд-фіналі,
not
та.
just in one game, two games.
Та.
Who knows
Брух.
how many at this
Clearly
point?
as many games as he wants to play. Because remember, it's been a good few years since we saw Tekken Master play at an offline major tournament. It has been quite a while since we got the chance to see him compete anywhere offline at that. I'd say a good couple of years at least. And it's not through lack of trying. You know, I know he's wanted to compete, just hasn't had the opportunity to. But now,
Нагородження
the rise
буде
of the
там.
new era MK1, Tekken Master back to full form. To be honest, as expected. Now, I did say at the start of the top 8, it's a difficult selection to know
Збирає
what
їх.
to think of it, you know, and who do you predict
Ну
to
так,
win in this
Скорп на
bracket?
третьому місці, це
Absolutely
теж
ridiculous
поважно. На
players,
Скорпі
but what
хоча б
them
якесь
did
місце
shine
зайняти,
above
це
all
вже
eight of them in
ого-го.
terms of, well, there's one player who, I'll tell you, never lets us down and is always consistent. It was Tekken Master. And here we are, a few hours later. Tekken Master is your first place
А
winner.
Ніндзі не було,
And I gotta
по-моєму.
say,
І
doing it for the
Фокса не
Baraka
було.
boys. Baraka lives through
Фокса
Tekken
того,
Master.
I think
що
Tweedy's
цей...
out there somewhere, probably restreaming this as we speak, thinking, yeah, Baraka, let's go.
Hey man, but what's cool about it though is again
Той,
the
що
Baraka
Sonic
strike
Fox
is
там.
such good synergy. I imagine you could
І
probably
Фоксі
do similar
Гранд
things
Па
with,
теж
like,
вилетів.
Baraka, maybe Baraka Goro. But problem is that, you know,
Франції,
again,
Турік,
striker
американців
mids, right?
мало.
That's the real,
А
the real
Турік,
thing,
Турок
mid
виграв
phase. And
Турік.
that's pretty much all we saw. You know, from
Не
Tekken Master
приїхали.
was just the
Та
great
ну, за
fronting,
якісь
the
там
baton strikes,
10
weren't they?
цих
The handcuffs, it was
приїжджать,
just
ну.
the grenades
Одного
to cover,
вистачить.
and that is it. And that's all he
On va
needed.
faire la remise, on va procéder les gars à la
With all
remise des
these
médailles.
players, we
Говорить
see the
французькою.
perfect representation of the international Mortal Kombat community. I want to give a huge shout out to RZA, of course, for being a phenomenal stage host today. and a
Не хочу
phenomenal
вже
commentator
стояти
yesterday, the
просто.
man of many talents. And we shall one by one award those well-earned medals.
Avec notre joueur venu tout droit d'Angleterre. Tonnerre d'applaudissements pour Video Games Yo, s'il vous plaît, les gars.
Сільвуплє, все.
Video Games Yo, unbelievable talent,
Merci Karaté
repping the
pour les
UK,
bruits de fond.
doing a phenomenal
De
job.
l'autre côté, il nous
Up
vient tout
next,
droit des
it's Gurr.
États-Unis. Gurr.
This player is such a legend of innovation with that Gearus, and I'm sure there were plenty of people at home.
Je les ai, les gars. C'est pas sérieux.
Герасу якусь нагороду дали. Гр грав на Герасі, чи хто там.
Boki next. That Kung Lao. I'm so happy
Ah.
Boki made top 8.
I am so
It's
happy.
perfect.
Мене надурив
European
коментатор.
legend for crying out loud.
Représentant du Liban.
For years and
Mais aussi avec
years.
nous en France maintenant.
The world's
Mesdames et
hardest
messieurs, le public,
partier
tonnerre
in
d'applaudissements
Mortal
pour
Kombat.
Akstar.
Oh, Akstar doing it for the French community here in Paris. And what a Reiko it was. Oh, this top 8 was so
Notre
good.
streamer préféré.
Подарунок це
In fourth
PS5 там
place,
на турнірі.
The man that needs no introduction of a Foxy
The
grandpa.
man of many names.
The
Foxy.
And it grows daily. And the Katana. Katana making top 4 at a major. Not too shabby.
Troisième place pour le joueur espagnol, MK.
Oh, but speaking of characters, though.
Маркуса Комбата нагороджують.
Scorpion of the game. Scorpion. Let's go, MK Javier.
Deuxième
What a
place.
legend. Loyalist through and through. Doing it for character loyalists everywhere. But, of course, we got to talk about Kanamani. What a
Канімані.
debut. Second
Канімані,
place,
кричіть.
losing only to Tekken Master. Kanamani looking good. No longer just an online god. Future is bright for the younger players in the scene. Tekken Master, however, is the grand
Медальки
champion,
роздали.
the man of the hour.
Нема кубка, медальки та й все. Барака, бляха.
You know what? It's time for me to win again.
Текенмайстер переміг ТМК турнір. Це анекдот. А он та є якийсь у них цей кубок. Пластикове чи скляне? Якщо скляне, чисто кинув, розбив нормас. Але скляне воно більш привабливо виглядає. Шмат пластику переміг. Барака майстер та...
Whether it's like new characters, whether it's characters he's working on himself, always so much to expect, and of course, doing the Middle East scene proud as always. What a top eight this has been! I've had fun. Have you had fun? I have had a very good time. What about you, chat? Have you had fun? You can't tell me. I assume you have.
Нафанились.
Like this tournament was just a perfect
Ну, коротше, на наступному турнірі Маркус сказав, будемо грати, як на цьому грали. Сказав, це буде FT3 в фіналі. Тому це його. Чуваки, можете піднімати хай.
The proof's in the pudding, as we say. But I'd like to use this opportunity to thank everyone involved.
Вам світло вимкнули все.
We're gone. October's gone. It's not
Економили.
no more. Regardless, we'll continue. I will pick up where you left off. Oh, you can see us again. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know
Blackout,
if the
бляха.
show is still live. No, We're going to keep going until someone in production taps us on the shoulder and says, "You're talking into a camera, you idiot."
Затримала для гранд-фіналу. Скажіть цим чувакам, там взагалі Барака переміг, я вважаю, це несерйозний турнір.
Thank you to the production staff for putting on a good show behind the scenes. Thank you to NetherRealm and WB Games, of course, for the pro competition as a whole. And of course, thank you all for watching.
Не перекинуть на якийсь інший стрім, не хочу.
And Mustard, it has been a pleasure to commentate offline Mortal Kombat once again for you at home. You take care of yourselves, have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you at the next tournament.
Так, кінець. Диво! Дякую, що дивились. Вмовляйте тепер Маркуса, щоб він робив вам не FT3. Та ну ти задовбав, не хочу я переходити на рейд цього чувака. Фу, ненавиджу Twitch. Кринжа. Я хочу в Незерів сидіти на паузі, все. Дякую, що дивились. Побачимось в інших місцях інтернетів. Пока. Тьомки-бомки. Бувайте. Борщу вам не дам, за борщом ідіть до Маркуса. Все, пока.